Every young gamer wants to become an esports professional. We make it happen. You just keep on winning.
স্বাগতম বাংলাদেশের জন্য ESPL Valorant PowerUp সিরিজ ফরম্যাটে আপনাকে জানাই স্বাগতম। এই সিরিজটি রায়োট গেমস দক্ষিণ এশিয়া সমর্থিত একটি উদ্যোগ যা বাংলাদেশের ভেতরে অপেশাদার গেমারদের প্রতিভা বজায় রাখতে এবং বৃদ্ধি করতে সহায়তা করবে। এর সুবিধার্থে PowerUp সিরিজটিতে প্রতি মাসে দুটি প্রাইজ পুল সহ দুটি টুর্নামেন্ট থাকবে। প্রতিটি মাস শুরু হবে একটি বাছাই পর্বের সাথে, যেখানে সবগুলি দল সিঙ্গল এলিমিনেশন ফরম্যাটে প্রতিযোগিতা করবে শীর্ষ 8টি দল পর্যন্ত, এবং এই 8টি দল অ্যামেচার কাপে উত্তীর্ণ হবে। এই 8টি দল ডাবল এলিমিনেশনে লড়াই করবে এবং বিজয়ী শীর্ষস্থানীয় 3টি দল আমন্ত্রিত হবে ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে। ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে প্রতিযোগিতা করবে শীর্ষস্থানীয় 3টি দল এবং আমন্ত্রিত 3টি দল। ইনভিটেশনাল কাপের সময় অপেশাদার কাপ এবং ইনভিটেশনাল কাপের শীর্ষ দুটি দল উচ্চ ব্র্যাকেটে খেলবে এবং তৃতীয় স্থানের দলগুলি একই পর্বের নিম্ন ব্র্যাকেটে খেলবে। প্রথম রাউন্ডের প্রতিটি ম্যাচ হবে সিঙ্গল এলিমিনেশন ফরম্যাটে। উচ্চ ব্র্যাকেটের দুটি বিজয়ী দল তারপর ডাবল এলিমিনেশন পর্যায়ে এগিয়ে যাবে। ডাবল এলিমিনেশন পর্বে হেরে যাওয়া দলটি তখন নিম্ন ব্র্যাকেটের দলের বিপক্ষে প্রতিদ্বন্দ্বিতা করবে। এই পর্যায়ে নিম্ন ব্র্যাকেটের যে দলটি হারবে তাদেরকে তৃতীয় স্থান হিসেবে শিরোনাম দেওয়া। ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে অংশ নেওয়া সমস্ত 6টি দল পরের মাসের অপেশাদার কাপে আবার প্রতিযোগিতা করে বেরিয়ে আসতে হবে, যার উদ্দেশ্য নতুন এবং উন্নত দলগুলিকে অপেশাদার কাপে প্রতিযোগিতার সুযোগ দেওয়া। এর দ্বারা ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে আরও অভিজ্ঞ দলের সাথে তাদের দক্ষতা পরীক্ষার চক্রটি পুনরাবৃত্তি করা হচ্ছে। আমরা অর্থাৎ ESPL কিভাবে বাংলাদেশের দলগুলি PowerUp সিরিজে পারফর্ম করে তা দেখার অপেক্ষায় রয়েছি। আপনার স্কোয়াড প্রস্তুত করুন এবং সিরিজটি শুরু হওয়ার জন্য প্রস্তুত থাকুন। গুড লাক এজেন্টস।
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the ESPL Valorant PowerUp Series 5. We are here today with the upper bracket finals between two of these big powerhouse teams in this tournament right now. We have MercenarieZ versus LarioX Esports. What a match it's about to be. I'm Kirita with my co-host Kalashnikov. How are you doing, Kalashnikov?
Thank you so much, Kirita. I'm doing completely fine, and thank you once again. It's the match between LarioX and MercenarieZ, so it's going to be one hell of a bang today. And ESPL is a global esports network and a tournament platform provider with a goal of elevating players from casual gamers to esports champions. Starting 2021 with a bang, ESPL's hope to grow Valorant esports talent across South Asia through the PowerUp series. Visit espl.gg/Bangladesh for more tournaments like these and fun esports content. We're currently live streaming on ESPL Bangladesh Facebook and YouTube, as well as BongoBD.com.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to check out ESPL in all those links and stay up to date with the ESPL PowerUp series. And we are closing up towards the end of the Series 5 right now. I mean, we're at the upper bracket finals. The winner's going to go to the grand finals. Players from the lower bracket are also fighting. And today we have potentially one of the most exciting matches in this whole series, MercenarieZ and LarioX. I mean, both these teams are household names in the scenes. I mean, MercenarieZ, everyone knows who MercenarieZ is. They have been quite consistent throughout this entire tournament. They have gotten those consistent wins and plays. So I'd expect them to play a lot more, like their usual fashion, have those usual agent lineups, nothing too surprising, and possibly have a clean win. But LarioX, on the other hand, they are one of the, they are probably the most, how do you say that? Like a rising talent of our country right now, because especially after the last season, I mean, and recent tournaments, they have been performing so aggressively. I mean, and they've been climbing their ranks non-stop. So I expect them to play with much aggression and also play, hopefully play with such a dominant fashion that MercenarieZ can keep up with them. So there's not much to say except we hope for an exciting match, and that's pretty much it from my side. Kalashnikov, how are you feeling about this matchup?
Well, absolutely. It's like you can say nothing about this because it's basically it's very non-applicable to say anything like who's gonna win or who's gonna make it a difference, right? What we are gonna see is something unexpected is gonna happen. Because as my friend Chris always used to say, we believe in miracles, and that's miracles what makes us who we are. So on the map of Bind announcing, we're seeing defenders on the side of the Japanese Tor, almost locking up to Phoenix. We're seeing Marcia's Fields picking up with Astra. Really different peak. Didn't see much on the tournaments nowadays. We're seeing Lethal on the Killjoy. We're seeing Nuke on the Sova. Murgi Man, okay. Chicken Man and Murgi Man on Jet. On the other side, we are seeing Lex Hermoine and Sova. Qgene on Omen. Lunatic on KJ. Experiment 52. Experimenting Rage. And Envious going for the Phoenix. So what I'm seeing is like a very different peak, which is really attracting me towards MercenarieZ, picking up Astra. Yes, exactly. That's what it's gonna be. So let's see whether MercenarieZ can really make a meta out of Astra. As Kirito already said, that this match is, it's gonna be something different. We never expected such things, and the previous performance and the dominant fashion they're going through right now might, give us an upper hand of understanding which team is really gonna, survive up to that kind of fashion. And speaking of that, MercenarieZ have some new players off their board, and we're also seeing one more new player on the board on the side of LRX. So there's basically a change on both sides. So it's gonna be either it's adaptation or, domination.
Definitely, and adaptation is one of the key things that LRX have to watch out now, because an Astra pick coming in, that's really unique for our scene at least, because I have seen Astra and Viper metas dominate the in the EU and NA Valorant scenes, especially in the Champions Tour that has been streaming. So almost every team has an Astra there, and MercenarieZ experimenting with Astra is definitely something I like to see in this in our scene, because expanding to new metas, having those agent diversities, because Viper and Astra are rarely played in our scene. Every team plays this basic lineup of a controller, a sentinel, initiator, and a couple of duelists. But MercenarieZ bringing this Astra agent in. Hopefully, it's gonna start something new, and it's gonna be tough for both teams to sort of adjust into this. I hope MercenarieZ have prepared proper strategies and tactics with this specific agent, and a lot of pressure on LRX too to see how MercenarieZ use this Astra and how to adapt to it. So it's definitely going to be interesting. But we are currently in a technical pause, actually, or is it going to start right now? I think we're going to be starting the matchup in this first round. I'm going to take in the lead, and remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is a best of 3 event between these two teams. The first map being Bind, LRX on the attacking side, going aggressive towards this B hookah. Also a couple of players coming in from the side of Belong. You can see Japanese Star with the Phoenix ready to put a flashbang to use, and a good angle coming in from them. A lot of fires, and Envious taking a lot of fire from Japanese Star, but he's managed to take the frag there. And on the other side from Hookah, Hermione with 2 frags taking off Fields and Murgi Man. The site is theirs. The rotation coming in from Lethal and Nuke, but there's not much they can do. Experiment 52 aggressing towards CD, putting a nade in. Kyojin has taken significant damage, but a flash coming in from Envious. He's gonna peek Nuke, but Nuke gets the frag. So does Lethal onto Experiment 52. It's a 2v3. Kyojin is low on the Omen. There isn't much else, but Hermione gets a triple kill onto Lethal. It's a 1v3. There's not much Nuke can do, except I guess this being the first round, not much economic damage to be done. Lunatic finishing things off with his Ghost, and the first round goes in favor of LRX.
Well, actually, the round was pretty much, old-fashioned, as we see. Linear pushes coming off inside the side, trying to push off, taking frags. Plan goes off, you get the defense. But what happened in the later sides of the round is basically like when the Phoenix of MercenarieZ, that's basically Japanese Tor, yeah, misses the timing of the flash basically, and that was a good position, but they couldn't make it a good use out of it. And as we're seeing LRX pushing to the hookah, 3 of them are camping on hookah. Oh my god, Japanese Tor getting one tap of the board like that. Really nice shots coming off. We're seeing Experimental getting double frag inside with a grenade and with a headshot. We're seeing Experimental getting the entry, gets a 3rd kill off the board. Really good entry coming off. He's half HP, pushing, making some angles, getting some pushes coming off. Damage does some to the grenade, and we're still seeing him hold it, getting the frag. Maybe he's gonna get the ace, and he gets the quad kill. Can he get the ace? And he's waiting for it, and his teammates might give him the chance for it. That's it. Lethal inside behind the enemy lines, waiting for enemies to make one mistake, and they are gonna peek it. They are gonna make the mistake, and I think that's that. Gets some down. Kyojin finishes off the round, and one more round goes in favor of LRX. Really good entry frag coming out from the side of Experiment. Really good, and he really did give the best entry frag ever. The grenade was really good placed. Grenade destroyed that team, and the camp at the side of Hookah wasn't so successful after all. So that's making MercenarieZ lose 2 rounds of the board.
Yeah, the start was good for MercenarieZ. Japanese Store finding their frag on a player of LRX, but in the end, Experiment 52 so consistent with the raise utility, and Nade and his gunfights are on point right now. But this is the first gun round of the matchup. We see all rifles from the side of MercenarieZ. LRX still sticking with those bonus weapons, Spectres. Experiment going for a Sheriff, unique choice. But I mean, MercenarieZ do have the advantage this round weapon-wise. But oh, Nuke taking a lot of damage coming out towards Shower from Hermione. A shock dart gonna do even more. He's so low in HP, 11 to be specific. And slowly LRX swarming towards the side of A, towards short. We still see the spike from the side of Kyojin. He has support from Experiment, but the weapons could mean the difference right now for MercenarieZ. Having those rifles in hand definitely give them some more edge in defending this side. But Hermione taking out a low Nuke. Murgiman with the trade onto NVS. As the entry being done, Murgiman takes one more. The Astro utility trying to deny the entry, but not doing much. Experiment using his Sheriff. 1 Deeks Fields does get one before dying, though. Kyojin with the second frag onto Murgiman. It's a 2v2. All onto Lethal and Japanese Store to save the round. Get around on the board for MercenarieZ. And you can see Japanese Store pushing towards U-Haul, clearing it all. But sees Experiment. He gets a shot in, but not enough to take down a Vandal. Kyojin in this triple box. Oh, I think Japanese Store saw the gun barrel at the last second and gets a frag onto him, saving the round for MercenarieZ. And 1-2 the score. A good round for MercenarieZ. We did expect them to win that, considering they had those rifles in hand. And despite that, there was a good economic damage from the side of LRX. They did take down 3 players with rifles. With bonus weapons on the side of MercenarieZ. So a good start for LRX indeed. They just need to carry on this aggressive momentum into the next rounds to win this.
Well, looking at this round, making me think that sometimes like unexpected things might happen. MercenarieZ basically there was no chance that MercenarieZ could ever win the round, but when the pushes fail, when the first frag, second frags come off, it just made a difference, made a whole lot of difference, making the team viable for destruction. And we're seeing Murgiman on the flank, but Phil's on the flank, and we're seeing Lunatic going for the follow-up, trying to make some difference here. They know that everyone is stacking up at B. They're holding off their angles really hard right now and making some difference, making some pauses. We're seeing a full rotation coming off, smokes coming off, and we're seeing running back from the side of LRX. And VS gets down. MercenarieZ takes off 2. Japanese Store third. MercenarieZ nuke 1. It's 1v4. And we are seeing 1 frags on the board, but 1 taps from the Murgiman through the wall on the head, finishing off everyone. That's 1 more round coming up on the side of MercenarieZ. Quick kill, quick and clean round coming on the side of MercenarieZ, making it 2-2, equalizing. And we are seeing skeptical buys on the side of LRX. Let's see whether they can make a difference or not.
LRX could go for some better weapons, maybe SMGs, possibly rifles, but they're going to be sticking with those Sheriffs and Experiment with a Spectre. I prefer him with the Spectre considering how well he's fragging, but they're going towards A side, but that's going to be really tough considering that the Skilljoy utilities are all swarmed towards that A short entrance. And last round we did see the Killjoy and Astro utility playing combined in that B side, so that definitely played quite a huge role for the defense of MercenarieZ. The Envious clearing out showers, taking the orb. He doesn't have the ultimate just quite yet for the entry. And we can see slowly LRX are creeping onto this A shore, trying to find an opening to get into the side, but MercenarieZ holding really defensive angles. But only 2 players here though, Nuke and Lethal, but Nuke enough to take down NBS with the Sheriff not doing much, and those swarm nades and Astra utility. Lethal gets one Lunatic, no entry for you today, and they're gonna have to fall back. Experiment getting a trade in though, Kilter utility out for this round. Taking down Nuke. Sorry, Lethal, my bad, and Nuke trying to use those shot darts to deny the push as the flank comes in from Murgiman. Gets one, doesn't get the second. Kyojin with the Sheriff. It's a 2v3. A Japanese Thor making the difference, taking out Hermione. There's only one player left. Kyojin with low HP, 32, and a Sheriff. Trying to get a wall bang, but not going to connect. Still has the spike. Trying to do economic damage should be the objective for him right now. Maybe get a bomb plant down with the TP if he wants to, but I'm sure he wants to save the ultimate for this run. Only 10 seconds left on the clock. The save would be pretty big coming in from him, but he's giving away too much information. Japanese Thor behind the wall as it drops, takes him down easily. And 3-2 the score. Mercenaries take the lead.
Mercenary is really making good use of Astra. Astra's concussion and the damage grenade really made a difference. At that point, they just took one life, which was really, crucial for LRX to get inside. And it was basically the entry point taken out by Astra. Taking control of an entry point like a short or a long is going to be really tough for any team to go through, and that's what Mercenaries used as an advantage. As we see, like the characters, operators like Astra or Sky can be really powerful in some cases if you know how to use, of course. We're seeing Murgiman on the first frag on LRX Envious with the operator pushing off with this, making one frag comes off board. We're seeing Kyojin making some amends here, trying to do some noise out here, trying to get some info out, but I don't think they did. And we're seeing missing off shot, and Kyojin gets one frag off through a Japanese Thor, missing multiple gunfights at the same position. We're seeing Harmoin on the second frag on Mercenaries Fields. We're seeing Murgiman holding this angle. He's really caught up with both of the sides, and it's gonna be really tough for him to come down right now. And what we're seeing right now, it's gonna be really tough for any of them to survive because it's a 4v3 situation. Defenders are really in a bad shape right now, and we are seeing four of the attackers pushing on this. We can see one frag coming off, but not two. Sadly, the spray didn't work out. We are seeing 3 versus 2 situation. Grenades gets off, wrong timing. We're seeing plant going off, and we are seeing plant of short coming off. Mugiman with an operator holding this short angle, trying to get one frag, one mistake, just one pick, and he'll get one crucial frag off the board. No one's making that mistake. No one's giving that part of the mistake. We're seeing Murgiman with an ultimate. He is gonna make it happen. Making some noise, he did. Misses the shot. Second shot, Experiment. What are you doing? Obliterating. That was nasty shot coming out of Experiment. Really good performance coming out on this player, being the star of LRX. Really good. We also saw similar entries, similar gunfights, similar mechanical skills coming off on that side. Really good sprays coming out on the side from the Phantom and making a difference right now. And we are seeing equalizing 3-3 on both sides. Let's see what happens next.
Yeah, Experiment 52 really showing how good he is with that raise and doing those entries, getting those frags. Really crucial for LRX right now, forcing Mercenaries into a sort of a half buy. You can see a few Spectres in their side. Murgiman aggressively peeking onto Experiment. He wants to take that player down towards Hookah, and a lot of utility being used to push him out of position. But they're still not giving him this Hookah. Murgiman 32 HP. Japanese Sword is able to heal himself. Again on long too. A lot of fights going down. But the entry still not being done by LRX. All 5 players from both sides still alive. Japanese Thor trying to keep his team alive, but the ultimate coming from Hermione. He's gonna find Japanese Thor, possibly a second. Murgiman updrafting to stay alive, but Lunar finishes him off. NVS with one more frag onto Lethal. And the side has opened up. Fields getting taken out by NVS, and it's a field day for LRX to take down the side of Mercenaries. Entering into side B, it's all on to Nuke, who has full utility but a ghost in hand. Possibly can pick up a Sheriff. Sees Kyojin, he was low on HP, easy to take out. He's gonna pick up a Sheriff. Possibly start, but dink onto Lunatic. What a shot. Maybe we could see something happen, but never mind. Hermione's gonna finish it off, taking him down. And I mean, a valiant effort for Mercenaries to try and keep that side, but the lack of weapons and the great usage of utility coming down from Lunatic and Experiment 52. I mean, the amount of pressure that Morgiman and Japanese Star had felt in that hookah region was, I mean, they tried their best to keep that side in their hands, but in the end, those utility usage was absolutely perfect from LRX, and they were unable to keep that side in their favor.
Well, making it happen, I was thinking that sometimes it's just important of how much, vigilant you are towards your teammates and your coordination. And the last round really proved that LRX's coordination towards pushing is really good. Though they were pinned down for a few rounds back when we saw them, but right now I don't think any kind of pin is working in their favor. Right now we're seeing Harmoin with the recoil drone getting off, knows the location, getting off the board. We're seeing Fields holding off this angle, entry coming off. We're seing Attacker Killjoy on the board. Harmoin to the smoke, nice one coming off. But we're seeing Experiment pushing. Experiment? Experiment? Are you gonna do it? Are you gonna do it? Yes! What are you doing? Oh, nasty, nasty LRX. Experiment. What is this guy? Is this the experiment of LRX? Like deploying a new nuke into the scene of Bangladesh Valorant Esports? What are we seeing here?
Like a secret agent, he went undercover towards CT. The players of Mercenaries had no idea there was an imposter among them, but he went in and did some serious damage, taking down 3 players there. How did he manage to pull that off? But, I mean, that was amazing coming out of him. That's going to force Mercenaries into another half buy. I mean, that was their buy round coming in. But the economic damage they're doing is absolutely huge. Right now, LRX stacking this A short region, 3-5 the score. I mean, disaster utility coming in, but they're not making the most of it. Experiment walking in with the ult. He's gonna shoot it, not finding frag there. But the bomb plant is gonna go down. Murgiman with the judge takes care of NBS. A trade, but no, Murgiman, he finds Kyojin. Lunatic finally taking Japanese Thor out for a trade. Hermione gets 1 frag onto Murgiman. It's a 3v3. The Astro utility still doing work, but the defender Killjoy finally coming into play from Lethal. Does Astro utility not helping Fields out that much? As Experiment 52 gets a frag. Lethal with a trade for 52. He's doing so much work. It's down to a 1v1. Nuke versus Lunatic. But Nuke has a judge in hand. He's still sticking with the frenzy. Taps the bomb. Goes towards short. There is a bot on top of him. He flicks to the head, but the frenzy is not enough. 20 health left on Lunatic. But the frenzy is just not the right weapon there. I mean, I think even a judge would have been bet. I'm not sure actually what would have been a better option. But
you know what? It's on the belief, what you believe in, right? If I was there, yeah, I would believe in a judge. Why? It's the judge. It's do or die. Also in kind of frenzy, it's all the same. But the thing is, it's your thing, what you pick it up, it's your belief. His belief was his frenzy is gonna do good. It really did good, but sadly, against damage output of Phantom, it isn't enough. Anyways, we see Morgan hand on the frag. Yeah, you can continue, no problem.
Okay, Murgiman on hookah, getting a frag immediately for LRX, causing problems. Japanese Thor even TPing in. Paranoia from Kyojin is gonna slow things down for Mercenaries, but we can see that that wasn't Japanese Thor himself. That was the run it back from Phoenix. He did TP through the A side, doing some work to slow down the push from LRX, but LRX was still sticking towards his B side. The Killjoy utility and Astro utility still present though. That can do significant damage to them while doing the entry. Still all 5 players for Mercenaries. Murgiman quite low. Hermione taking down Japanese Thor, opening for this side 4v4. A recon coming in, spots Murgiman. Can he get them through the spam? Killjoy utility and shock darts being used, but they don't quite find the frag. He's still alive somehow. Murgiman getting 1 more frag before dying. Kyojin with a trade. The entry being done. From the side, we can see Lethal holding towards elbow, waiting for someone to overextend. But this time, LRs are gonna stay put in the side. Nuke from the flank on TP. He's gonna spot a player for Fields to take down as they rush into side. Hermione tagged. He's gonna fall back into the side as we see a 3v3 showdown about to go down in this B side. And the Astral coming in. It's gonna divide the whole map, but not doing much work as Lethal pushes through it, sees to shoot, gets to player, sees the last pair Kyojin, but he gets 2 frags of his own! But the clutch isn't possible for him as Lethal's the one who's gonna take him out. What is his performance from these players? but somehow Lethal's managed to save the round for his side. 4-6 the score. Mercenary is still showing signs of life.
Well, actually, I'm gonna say that it was really nice, sneaky peeky like play coming up from the side of Lethal. Lethal was really lethal for the teammates and for their opponents, and yeah, he was. And actually, through that round of clutch coming off, Lethal's it was a really high IQ play out, to be honest, because he just baited the whole team for pushing. He got into and also baited the whole team. It was a whole big risk for him. But sadly, at the last moment, Nuke couldn't kill him, and that's what made the round win. And it was pretty good sacrifice and pretty good change coming off on the side. And it was pretty good, pretty high IQ play coming off. So it was pretty nice to watch, and we're seeing this kind of plays in this high level of matchmaking of this tournaments. So that's that. So Murgi Man here, and one taps Lunatic on that count. We're seeing Lunatic taking off Murgi Man, hiding like a chicken on that angle, making some amends over there. We are seeing pushes coming off, we are seeing concussion coming down, smokes coming down, and we are seeing entry coming off, Japanese Thor holding off, trying to spam off, giving up the position, making enemies forget this, and we are seeing a bit of damage coming off on the side, and that's the utilities coming off the change. We're seeing utility professor on geometry going for the geometry classes. Sovas trying their best, does some damage, and we're seeing Murgi Man another one coming off. Kyojin takes one frag off the board when we are seeing NBS taking one more frag on Fields, and Murgi Man finishing off on his third kill. Murgi Man being the dominant here, and we are seeing multiple dominations coming off. We are seeing Plant coming off. It's a 1v3. It's do or die. Gets spotted. Can he peek? Can he kill? He doesn't have much more time. He's all the way surrounded by his enemies, and enemies got into his face, and face does that. So reflex coming off. He could have waited for his enemies to come first, and then he could have attacked. But his pushing was a really big mistake, really costing this round. Because maybe if he had stayed, if he had been a bit more, using his brain more rather than losing himself and being panicked all the time, he could have made the round possible, maybe. But anyways, that was sad coming out, and we're seeing one more round, and it's the last round before the swap, and we're still seeing a really good matchup coming on both of the teams. 6 on the side of LRX, 5 on MercenarieZ. It's going to be a big fight tonight.
An absolute insane match going on, especially the coordination between MercenarieZ. Last round, Murgi Man and Nuke on the flank did so much work. Again, Murgi Man is aggressive position, but he is revealed. They know he is here, I'm pretty sure. As Dart comes in to reveal his position, and we see the push coming in, and NBS doesn't check the angle. Murgi Man with 2 frags, even taking down the Phoenix Ultimate. Hermione with the trade. That's immensely valuable from MercenarieZ, and that's going to really help them out in this defensive house. Lethal with a really defensive position. In U-Haul, what is that utility usage? What are those killjoy placements there? So useful, getting a frag there onto NBS, and Japanese are on the flank too. Defender killjoy coming in, the lockdown, and NBS are in a tough position. Japanese are on the flank, gets a frag onto Hermione. It's all onto Kyojin. He's able to TP through towards B side. And look at this, he's going towards A again, but I think, Lethal, if he gives away his footsteps too much, he is expecting that to be a fake towards B. And this, oh wow, look at this, look at the brains on Lethal right now. He expected that, he hoped that it was a fake, and he held the angle. He's able to take him down, denying him any kind of like a smart plays. And that's going to end this first half. 6-6 the score. MercenarieZ showing very good coordination. LRX still have those aggressive plays, and when they have the momentum, you can see they take three rounds in a row, twice in the first half. So they are heavily dependent on the momentum and confidence boost from winning a couple of rounds. So MercenarieZ were able to exploit that and properly use the Killjoy and Astra to coordinate and deny any kind of entry towards site potentially. And even if it's not a complete denial, they're able to do enough damage to the players or take out enough players so that the retake is relatively easy for them. But right now it's a completely different story, considering they are on attack. So the Astra and Killjoy will have to play a much more aggressive role, hopefully coming out from Lethal and Fields. Let's see what they have in store for us in this next half.
Well, storing, as you see, as you say, it's basically the most important part of all the players. Because right now, what we're seeing is, what I'm seeing is I'm gonna be really truth over here. Because LRX have really good, I mean, aggression, really good gunfight strategies, or maybe good, what do you call it, the mechanical skills coming off. But what we're seeing on the side of mercenaries is really promising. Even if they're not winning much more gunfights, even if they're not winning much more, uh, you know, tactical issues, or tactical pushes, or tactical, duels, aim duels, we're still seeing, those utilities, those usage, those high IQ plays coming off, making a big difference in case of mercenaries. And them fighting against a team like LRX, whose aggression is so much that most teams we see against LRX cannot stand the amount of aggression they're having. But what we're seeing here, the high amount of utility usage on the side of Sova, Astra, and Killjoy and Phoenix, like they're coordinating those utilities into usage and making the lives of LRX a bit, or I should say a lot harder. And this is what's making them really part in case of pushing and making a difference. Now we're seeing a coordinated push coming off. One enemy, Murgiman gets first frag, Kyojin taking one frag, Murgiman on a second frag, really good. Murgiman making a difference, Murgiman pushing, jump shot coming up on really funny to watch. And we're seeing Hermione going for the recon, U-Haul detecting one, he saw, he checked, and yes, he did detect one, and that's that lunatic, picks him off, really good coming off. And we're seeing mercenaries, Fields taking one frag off the board. We're seeing Envious being really damaged. Envious might be pushed, but we're seeing pushes coming off, 2 versus 2 situation, doable. Lethal trying to do some damage. They're going for the defensive defuse here, and we might be seeing some defuse coming off here. And there is defuse, half defuse on the floor, and Fields with a third kill. Really good play coming out on the side of Astra. I should say Mercenaries had done really good with the classic, making classic really viable. And that's what made them really unbeatable in the what do you call it, the pistol round. And Astra, usage of Astra's utilities really made this happen. And the team plays coming off also made it happen. The cross holdings, that's what made, Mercenaries do this round easily.
Yeah, this matchup is really turning into basically a show between Brains and Bronze. We see LRX really aggressive on the retake, pushing in, just right-clicking all the way. Hermione showing, just jumping, right-clicking all over the place. And Mercenary playing a lot more tactically. They're slowly pushing in, but Murgiman is the only one who's playing brain dead in the side of Mercenaries, rushing into a shower, getting a couple of frags. Japanese star with one of his own onto NBS. It's immediately a 5v3. And Murgiman dashing in from heaven, gets a triple. Can he get a quadra kill? Spots Hermione through the smoke in CT. He can updraft towards heaven if he wants, but I guess he wants to play with his team right now. He knows that aggression is good, but having teammates backing you up is better. But he doesn't need teammates. He solo takes down Hermione, and those pushes. We didn't know that Mercenaries were on a buy round, Spectres in hand, but that was such a confident push. Knowing that, despite knowing that they're dependent on the utilities, that usage was so good. And they were so confidently able to walk into the site, knowing that those utility would cover for them, would support them where they need. And that is just showing that how vital utility is in the game of Valorant.
Utility is what makes your team stand apart. That's what makes your team, use tactically. Like what I saw is most teams, even like a team like Exili Esports, I don't see utility usage coming off to use so much. So in the much more bigger teams or better teams in the world, who plays bigger brackets or upper brackets or more upper brackets, so the ESL level or professional level of upper brackets in esports realm in the world, they use characters like Breach, characters like operators like Breach, operators like Phoenix, operators like Astra and Sky. So that being said, that's what's making it happen. We're seeing, that kind of usage of utilities coming off, and mercenaries, that niche of using utilities in such a big amount is making what's different, and this is the changing the meta. Mercenary feels taking one over. Lunatic takes him out. Lunatic takes a second. Cute no third. I can't finish taking. Experiment finishing off the round. What was a quick round, and I couldn't finish off telling what is happening. LRX. What was that? What was that? It's so fast. Oh my god.
I mean, the execution from Mercenaries was like, we all just push in at the same time, right? But, I mean, LRX were just holding those angles, and when they all just showed their faces, they were just holding the right angles, just finishing them off, executing them potentially. I mean, LRX did have those rifles, it was their buy round, so the advantage was definitely on their side. But I gotta say, Mercenaries, it was a decent attempt at the side. If only they had proper weapons, maybe we'd see some more success. And again, speaking of utilities, not just saying that LRX don't have good utility usage. If they didn't, they wouldn't be one of the top teams in the country. They wouldn't be here in the upper bracket finals. They have those good utility usage, but today it just isn't working. We usually see Lunatic and what's his name, Hermione, working together with those Killjoy and Sova utility. But today it's just not working in their favor. They aren't having those same coordination that they usually have. But yeah, there's still times 8-7 the score in favor of Mercenaries. They're only one round behind, so we can definitely still see a chance for them to come back with those good utility. We can see already Lunatic making life hard for Mercenaries to push into the side, Killjoy utility, and even the Defender ultimate coming in, the lockdown. That's not going to allow them to push anytime soon. And that's going to eat away a lot of time for Mercenaries and giving enough time for Hermione to rotate towards B. Still not entirely sure if he wants to go in the B site yet, but he is ready with a recon. And that's not going to give anything, so I mean, he's still holding though. He's still holding, but the usage of utility, there's smokes coming in from Jet. The usage of Killjoy utility, that's going to give away the information that the site is B. So they're going to have to play a retake, but Murgiman really aggressive. So is... Oh, Kyojin gets taken out, but Hermione is with the trade. Lunatic with the double. Jabbersaw and Lethal taken out. It's a 2v4 right now. And Hermione still has that ult for him on the defender side. Lunatic getting pushed by Fields. Low HP, he gets taken out. It's a 3v2 right now. Mercenaries Fields does have that after ultimate. The divide, the wall, but oh, he doesn't get the frag onto Envious. It's all onto Lethal. Sorry, Nuke. I keep messing up the names, but he is in hookah. On the higher ground, he spots Hermione with the headshot. Oh my god! What the hell? Clean shots coming in from him, finishing it off, keeping Mercenaries in the lead. 9-7 score. Mercenaries, and I Nuke to be more specific. What are those aim locks onto the players of LRX? Not giving them a chance to spray back at him at all.
Well, that's the correct, the only correct way to use a Phantom. I don't see, even in higher brackets, people don't use Phantom correctly, how it should be really used. I saw the perfect guy in Bangladesh using the Phantom the correct way, and we are seeing Murgiman on the entry frag coming off, getting experimented when we're seeing Shock Dart coming off, we're seeing pushes coming off, Q gets frag off the Murgiman, really good spam coming out on the side, and Thor gets taken out. Thor takes up Lunatic, Hermione gets Japanese Thor, and we are seeing Hermione still with a judge holding this U-Haul. Nuke getting one more frag, trying to make a difference. We are seeing Envious with a one tap with the Sheriff, and we are seeing Run It Back coming off, but didn't work out so much. And we are seeing a full rotation coming off, and they're going for B. We're seeing also Defender's rotation coming off, and we are seeing smokes, concussions coming off, plan goes off, and we are seeing 40 seconds, and we're seeing Hunter's Fury coming off. We're seeing another Hunter's Fury coming off, really good Hunter's Fury, does a bit damage to the teammate, not a problem. We're seeing Geometry classes coming off, we're seeing Shock Dart, we're seeing the Recon Darts coming off, and we are seeing the concussion coming off. Yeah, so also the utilities are coming off the board, and we're seeing, oh, Lethal, what were you doing, Envious? Okay, so Hermione misses the one tap. Oh my god. Lethal finishes off Hermione. Hermione misses his aim, misses his shot, sadly making it really hard and tracking the double digits. Mercenaries being dominant for last 3 rounds, making it 10-7. Mercenaries still on the loose, and their utility usage is making them feel the winning of the match.
I have to say, I really like how LRX are trying to play defense. I mean, especially on the eco, with those sheriffs and specters, they did relatively well damage. But mercenaries, I mean, the usage of utility and the idea to like TP through the side of from side of A to B, that's something that I didn't really expect to happen because a lot of teams don't do that. They actually forget about the TP. They just stay in the side and keep fighting. But the fact that they kept that as a part of the plan. In case the plant went wrong, we see a 2v2. Even if it was a buy round for them in eco for the side of LRX, they still didn't risk it. They went to the side of B, and that gave them enough time to plan even before Hermione was able to connect the Hunter's Fury onto the default plant side. So really well played from both sides, but LRX need to make those buy rounds count. That's it. To find the momentum and find the aggressive plays that usually give them so much success. And that's basically it. Confidence and momentum. That's what they need to find. That is the key to the success. And taking on players like Murgyman and Lethal is also really crucial. Because Murgyman aggression, taking down their most valuable player right now, and a second one onto NBS. Is he gonna get third with 7 bullets? He knows that I think he knows that there's a player in this box, but Fields is the one who's gonna take him out. He hears the operator, but he's unable to take him out. Hermione finally with a frag in favor of LRX, taking down Murgyman. Lunatic making a lot of noise and a lot of aggression, taking out Japanese Sora, possible second frag, but Fields finishes him off. It's all onto Hermione with the operator. Can he pull something off? I mean, looks very unlikely, but we believe in miracles, as Kalashnikov said. If he does pull it off, it'll be one of the most impressive things I have seen. But he's opting to go for the save. They aren't quite behind Mercenaries, but it is still winnable for them if they are, as I said, able to use that control aggression that they usually use in their matches and find some momentum in winning those rounds in the side of defense. I mean, defense should be relatively easier for them, but they aren't just having those same. They're just having, not the same performance as they usually do because the utility usage isn't being in their favor. And we're going to see the save coming in from Hermione. 11-7 the score in favor of Mercenaries, and things aren't looking good for LRX.
Well, things, as we said, yes, aren't looking good for LRX. So LRX needs to think, what can be done to go through this? What can be done so that, Murgyman doesn't come off? Sorry, my bad. Yeah, Murgyman doesn't come off and take your head off. What's going to happen? How to kill Murgyman? That's what's going to be in the comms of LRX right now. Because right now, what we're seeing is Murgyman literally dominating the entry and well, to be honest, everyone's using properly doing their duties as we speak. We're seeing entry already coming off. We're seeing flashes coming off. NBS doing some damage. NBS doing double damage. Oh, Murgyman!
Even
Still doesn't fail to maze. We're seeing Kyojin taking back the frag, looking good for the side of LRX right now. And really less time coming off. We're seeing fake plan coming off. Position gets taken out. We're seeing a big fake coming off. Everyone's going for the big rotation, and we are still seeing full rotation towards side of B, and we are seeing plan experiment.
Spike down B.
Experiment. And Hermione finishes off round. What a round coming on the side of LRX. Really well played. That's how you do. That's what we call a plot twist. And that's what a plot twist really looks like in real life situation. Oh, okay, guys, if you ever wanna understand what's plot twist, that's what you call a plot twist.
I mean, this could be the start of something different for LRX. I did say they need that first round of confidence, and they need that first round to boost their momentum. So winning that round could be really crucial against, a team at the full potential with rifles and all. Taking down a fully kitted out Mercenaries, that definitely helps a lot momentum-wise and confidence-wise. So this could be the start for them to slowly come back into this. I mean, if they do mess up right now, Mercenaries are going to be on match point, and that's going to be devastating for them. And another thing they should be wary about is the economy. I mean, they are in a relatively more comfortable state, LRX, than Mercenaries economy-wise, but still, if they lose this round, they are going to be in quite a bit of trouble, and they possibly won't even be able to afford rifles in the round after. So coming in towards B side, we see Mercenaries trying to go towards hookah, but the utility denying them entry. They're slowly, Murgyman slowly just creeping in, just wants to take some information. A really open Killjoy turret's gonna get taken out easily, but the information is there. You can see Lunatic still playing really passively inside the site, and the Killjoy coming in, but they don't know. Oh my god! What happened? They don't. Okay, they're still able to plant the bomb and get out of the site. Barely. Oh, Lethal gets detained. But still, it's a 4v5 in favor of LRX. This could be the round where they make the things happen for them in their favor. They do have experiments result to play with. And Hermione with the operator still can't do much. But Murgyman making life difficult. Taking down Lunatic. Envious does get the trade though. Beal's getting one more. But Hermione with those operators. And they're aggressive towards Hookah. But to the corner of the smoke. Nuke trying to deny the defusal, but you can see aggressive plays coming from Experiment. He's so valuable for his team right now. And finally, another round in a row for LRX, showing the signs of life that they should have shown so longer ago. But still, they are very much in this matchup, and they're going to be forcing Mercenaries towards an eco. I mean, they can afford rifles and stuff, SMGs, but I would prefer them to go on an eco. So this round is very much possibly could go in favor of LRX again.
Well, I have a suggestion or a recommendation to LRX. Dude, why is his name is Experiment? He is already experiment successful for you guys. I mean, come on. Just look at that. Just look at them. Just look at the frags. Just how crucial frags Experiment is getting for you. The entries, the chokes, the flanks, the utilities, the nades, the boombots, everything you're getting from this guy alone with that amount of, potential fragging abilities, that's what's making them.
I feel like in the future, like, I mean, Experiment is relatively new to the LRX team. I think in the future, when the chemistry is much more developed, I gotta say, LRX, Lunatic, and Experiment, they can make such a duo with the Killjoy utility in this map of Bind. You already see what Lethal and Fields can do with the Astra and Killjoy. So if they can like pull off something similar with Raze and Killjoy, especially on the defensive side, along with Hermione's information with the recons and stuff, that could be really, such a deadly combination for LRX.
Well, that's that. So what we're seeing here right now is good entry coming out on the side of Hermione, really nice. Hermione on the second one to the smoke. What was that? What was that? What was that? Am I seeing right? And it was Experiment on the second effect. Hello, LRX? LRX?
Momentum, right? That's what I said. LRX. They need that momentum. That's it.
Oh my god. LRX. I couldn't finish even describing one thing. I didn't even start describing and the round is over.
My mind literally broke in half when I saw that shot to the smoke. I mean, what game sense do you need to have to be able to pull something off? Her mind...
Like, LRX just... I mean, Hermione just understand that maybe... Oh, wait. Did I miss something? Oh, there you are. Something like that. Okay. Kirito, take it from me.
Well, absolute mad game sense coming out of LRX. Off a flawless round, 3 in a row, and they're so close to tying things up in this first map, keeping their team alive. And this is the first map, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. We have possibly 2 more maps of this action coming up for you. So stay tuned, stay with us as we go into this, I think, what round is the 22nd round of this match? 11-10 the score, and oh, the Astra out coming in from the side of Mercenaries, but oh, Experiment! He's like, I know guys are gonna push now. Murgyman is trying to go for a wall bang.
Wait, what was that? That was something like an aim lock, okay?
That was a good aim lock. I mean, he was running away, but oh, Nuke with a shotgun kill. Kyojin does get a trade on the Murgyman. Severely damaged Nuke gets taken out by Kyojin. Kyojin holding strong in U-Haul, but Fields slow picking him, gets the headshot. It's a 3v2. There is the attacker Killjoy out available for them. Lethal long range onto NVS with the Phantom. Takes minimal damage. Hermione with the operator holding 2 showers. He knows that the Killjoy ult is there, but he is safe from it on the position of Heaven.
30 seconds left.
You can see Fields with the Astra placing down utility, playing chess essentially. Lunatic holding to a shower. He spots him. He sees the information.
Spike
He's gonna
planted.
try and go for the peak as the bomb plan goes down from Fields. And
Last
oh, the
player
peak coming in from Lunatic takes him down. It's all onto Fields with the Astra. He has a Phantom. He has one ring he can play. But slowly we can see LRX aggressing on towards him. I think they should know where he is, but the gravitational pull coming in. He gets one but doesn't get the second. Hermione finishes him off. And the defuse going for LRX. And 11-11 to score. LRX, they have come back from the dead. How have they managed to pull this off? I mean, it was all that one round that they managed to sort of boost their momentum, taking down a fully kitted mercenary squad. Even with ultimates on their side, they managed to win that round effortlessly, and that basically said, okay, we won that round, let's win the rest.
Well, Creator, you're forgetting that this is LRX. You know their aggression is well known throughout the country. Everyone shivers by their aggression. So through this aggression, they just used it to the next level. They just did a linear push. They were playing split all the time, but right now, they just didn't care. They just got inside and get the kill. That's what they did. They just outsmart mercenaries through every one of the tactical advantages. So I mean, right now I think it's really hard to say what's gonna happen. It's the 11th moment, and we're still seeing that same amount of energy is coming on both of the teams. And right now, we are unable to understand what's it gonna be. Is it gonna be LRX going to match point or mercenaries? Because whatever you do, it's gonna get a big extension. It's gonna be bigger. The match is gonna be bigger. It's really hard. And that's what kinds of match we really wanted to know. And we're seeing geometry classes coming off, but geometry classes
Is it gonna be as big as Hermione's become?
Yeah, exactly. So basically, Nuke needs to do more geometry and needs to learn more theories and problem solving so that he knows where to land his next bolts properly. So what is he looking at?
Look at him. I mean, he's scanning for those killer utilities towards Hookah.
So anyways, we're seeing process coming off, and we are seeing the aggression towards B. We are seeing the push coming off on Murgi Man getting inside, swearing for enemies. Maybe he will find one and make a difference. So we are seeing tracks coming off, bit of track. We're seeing Hunter's Fury coming off, really good Hunter's Fury coming off. Does a bit of damage, lot of damage in fact. Really good damage, really good trackings coming off here on the board. We're seeing Fields on the angle. We're seeing him going to the Paranoia, getting affected by Paranoia. Pushes coming off. It's really hard to say. Lunatic making a lot of damage. LRX wiping out on split second and finishing off mercenaries on the board. We're seeing match point. We're seeing some R&R, and we're seeing a diffuse coming off. Really good round coming off. LRX on the match point, making a difference, coming out from a point of no return to this time. If LRX wins this round, this is gonna be a really big heartbreaking for mercenaries, because this time off the board, this is really miracle what we're seeing right now. Really a miracle.
I mean, that scenario was such a beauty coming out of LRX with that operator and experiment holding that angle, covering for Hermione.
Right here.
And I mean, did you see that paranoia from Kyojin? That was so well coordinated. I mean, Fields was holding the angle, waiting for the peak coming from experiment, but the paranoia was on point for him. And so, I didn't expect LRX to suddenly play so well. Like, I know that they are able to pull it off, but it was like so sudden, and they were in such a tough spot to come back from this 11-12, and they're still holding strong. This is a possible win for them in the first match, but oh, Hermione, the nerves on this man to hold, take on, and Lunatic on the other, triple kill. But Nuke is finally the one who's gonna take him down. And he is spotted too when Hermione's drawn a shock dart going and trying to slow the push, but experiment from the flank. It's Kyojin's gonna take him out, and it's all onto Murgi Man for a 1v4. Has the Jet ultimate, spots Kyojin. He was low HP anyways. But still, it's looking extremely tough. He spots the operator from Hermione, and he's gonna fall back immediately. But there are two other players he's more afraid of, but Hermione is the one who's gonna finish things off. 13-11, a comeback, such a strong comeback from LarioX, and they were able to close it up. And that's just showing how dangerous they are. Even in dire scenarios, they cool themselves down. Even after being such an aggressive team, they calm themselves down, regroup, and focus on the weakness of the enemies. And we did say that mercenaries were more on the brain side, but we did see some really great utility usage coming from LRX2 in the end. So we can definitely see strong adaptation abilities coming out from them. So, I mean, that was just the first map. I'm just curious to see what they're going to do in the next one.
Well, LRX was really powerful in this regard. Like LRX really made a difference right now. What they really pulled off is unfathomable, because I never seen such a coming out from the dead. Like that's really rare coming off, because this kinds of plays, this kinds of coordination is really rare in such case. But I have to admit, mercenaries did really good, and especially their pick with Astra, they were pretty successful, except for the last few rounds. I think they just gave up on LRX's LRX's aggression and making it happen. So we have to say, like, the player like Experiment and the player of LRX, what was his name? I forgot. Mugiman. Yeah, Mugiman. Players like them is the backbone of teams like this, and their aggression, their entries, and everyone following the roles is really making this matches really good. And there was a really close match, I have to say, because I have to admit, both of the teams played really good, but then in the end, someone has to win, so it was LRX. So that being said, we're going to be back really soon. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. Just wait a few minutes. We'll be back, and we're going to see the best of 3, and it's going to be the second map coming for you soon.
Every young gamer wants to become an esports professional. We make it happen. You just keep on winning.
স্বাগতম। বাংলাদেশের জন্য ESPL Valorant PowerUp সিরিজ ফরম্যাটে আপনাকে জানাই স্বাগতম। এই সিরিজটি রায়ট গেমস দক্ষিণ এশিয়া সমর্থিত একটি উদ্যোগ, যা বাংলাদেশের ভেতরে অপেশাদার গেমারদের প্রতিভা বজায় রাখতে এবং বৃদ্ধি করতে সহায়তা করবে। এর সুবিধার্থে পাওয়ার আপ সিরিজটিতে প্রতি মাসে 2টি প্রাইজ পুল সহ 2টি টুর্নামেন্ট থাকবে। প্রতিটি মাস শুরু হবে একটি বাছাই পর্বের সাথে, যেখানে সবগুলি দল সিঙ্গল এলিমিনেশন ফরম্যাটে প্রতিযোগিতা করবে শীর্ষ 8টি দল পর্যন্ত, এবং এই 8টি দল অ্যামেচার কাপে উত্তীর্ণ হবে। এই 8টি দল ডাবল এলিমিনেশনে লড়াই করবে, এবং বিজয়ী শীর্ষস্থানীয় 3টি দল আমন্ত্রিত হবে ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে। ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে প্রতিযোগিতা করবে শীর্ষস্থানীয় 3টি দল এবং আমন্ত্রিত 3টি দল। ইনভিটেশনাল কাপের সময় অপেশাদার কাপ এবং ইনভিটেশনাল কাপের শীর্ষ 2টি দল উচ্চ ব্র্যাকেটে খেলবে, এবং তৃতীয় স্থানের দলগুলি একই পর্বের নিম্ন ব্র্যাকেটে খেলবে। প্রথম রাউন্ডের প্রতিটি ম্যাচ হবে সিঙ্গল এলিমিনেশন ফরম্যাটে। উচ্চ ব্র্যাকেটের 2টি বিজয়ী দল তারপর ডাবল এলিমিনেশন পর্যায়ে এগিয়ে যাবে। ডাবল এলিমিনেশন পর্বে হেরে যাওয়া দলটি তখন নিম্ন ব্র্যাকেটের দলের বিপক্ষে প্রতিদ্বন্দ্বিতা করবে। এই পর্যায়ে নিম্ন ব্র্যাকেটের যে দলটি হারবে তাদেরকে তৃতীয় স্থান হিসেবে শিরোনাম দেওয়া। ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে অংশ নেওয়া সমস্ত 6টি দল পরের মাসের অপেশাদার কাপে আবার প্রতিযোগিতা করে বেরিয়ে আসতে হবে, যার উদ্দেশ্য নতুন এবং উন্নত দলগুলিকে অপেশাদার কাপে প্রতিযোগিতার সুযোগ দেওয়া। এর দ্বারা ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে আরও অভিজ্ঞ দলের সাথে তাদের দক্ষতা পরীক্ষার চক্রটি পুনরাবৃত্তি করা হচ্ছে। আমরা অর্থাৎ ESPL কিভাবে বাংলাদেশের দলগুলি পাওয়ার আপ সিরিজে পারফর্ম করে তা দেখার অপেক্ষায় রয়েছি। আপনার স্কোয়াড প্রস্তুত করুন এবং সিরিজটি শুরু হওয়ার জন্য প্রস্তুত থাকুন। গুড লাক এজেন্টস।
Every young gamer wants to become an esports professional. We make it happen. You just keep on winning.
স্বাগতম বাংলাদেশের জন্য ESPL Valorant PowerUp সিরিজ ফরম্যাটে আপনাকে জানাই স্বাগতম। এই সিরিজটি রায়ট গেমস দক্ষিণ এশিয়া সমর্থিত একটি উদ্যোগ যা বাংলাদেশের ভেতরে অপেশাদার গেমারদের প্রতিভা বজায় রাখতে এবং বৃদ্ধি করতে সহায়তা করবে। এর সুবিধার্থে পাওয়ার আপ সিরিজটিতে প্রতি মাসে দুটি প্রাইজ পুল সহ দুটি টুর্নামেন্ট থাকবে। প্রতিটি মাস শুরু হবে একটি বাছাই পর্বের সাথে, যেখানে সবগুলি দল সিঙ্গল এলিমিনেশন ফরম্যাটে প্রতিযোগিতা করবে শীর্ষ 8টি দল পর্যন্ত, এবং এই 8টি দল অ্যামেচার কাপে উত্তীর্ণ হবে। এই 8টি দল ডাবল এলিমিনেশনে লড়াই করবে এবং বিজয়ী শীর্ষস্থানীয় 3টি দল আমন্ত্রিত হবে ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে। ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে প্রতিযোগিতা করবে শীর্ষস্থানীয় 3টি দল এবং আমন্ত্রিত 3টি দল। ইনভিটেশনাল কাপের সময় অপেশাদার কাপ এবং ইনভিটেশনাল কাপের শীর্ষ 2টি দল উচ্চ ব্র্যাকেটে খেলবে এবং তৃতীয় স্থানের দলগুলি একই পর্বের নিম্ন ব্র্যাকেটে খেলবে। প্রথম রাউন্ডের প্রতিটি ম্যাচ হবে সিঙ্গল এলিমিনেশন ফরম্যাটে। উচ্চ ব্র্যাকেটের দুটি বিজয়ী দল তারপর ডাবল এলিমিনেশন পর্যায়ে এগিয়ে যাবে। ডাবল এলিমিনেশন পর্বে হেরে যাওয়া দলটি তখন নিম্ন ব্র্যাকেটের দলের বিপক্ষে প্রতিদ্বন্দ্বিতা করবে। এই পর্যায়ে নিম্ন ব্র্যাকেটের যে দলটি হারবে তাদেরকে তৃতীয় স্থান হিসেবে শিরোনাম দেওয়া। ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে অংশ নেওয়া সমস্ত 6টি দল পরের মাসের অপেশাদার কাপে আবার প্রতিযোগিতা করে বেরিয়ে আসতে হবে, যার উদ্দেশ্য নতুন এবং উন্নত দলগুলিকে অপেশাদার কাপে প্রতিযোগিতার সুযোগ দেওয়া। এর দ্বারা ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে আরও অভিজ্ঞ দলের সাথে তাদের দক্ষতা পরীক্ষার চক্রটি পুনরাবৃত্তি করা হচ্ছে। আমরা অর্থাৎ ESPL কিভাবে বাংলাদেশের দলগুলি পাওয়ার আপ সিরিজে পারফর্ম করে তা দেখার অপেক্ষায় রয়েছি। আপনার স্কোয়াড প্রস্তুত করুন এবং সিরিজটি শুরু হওয়ার জন্য প্রস্তুত থাকুন। গুড লাক এজেন্টস।
Every young gamer wants to become an esports professional. We make it happen. You just keep on winning.
স্বাগতম বাংলাদেশের জন্য ESPL Valorant PowerUp সিরিজ ফরম্যাটে আপনাকে জানাই স্বাগতম। এই সিরিজটি রায়ট গেমস দক্ষিণ এশিয়া সমর্থিত একটি উদ্যোগ যা বাংলাদেশের ভেতরে অপেশাদার গেমারদের প্রতিভা বজায় রাখতে এবং বৃদ্ধি করতে সহায়তা করবে। এর সুবিধার্থে পাওয়ার আপ সিরিজটিতে প্রতি মাসে দুটি প্রাইজ পুল সহ দুটি টুর্নামেন্ট থাকবে। প্রতিটি মাস শুরু হবে একটি বাছাই পর্বের সাথে, যেখানে সবগুলি দল সিঙ্গল এলিমিনেশন ফরম্যাটে প্রতিযোগিতা করবে শীর্ষ 8টি দল পর্যন্ত, এবং এই 8টি দল অ্যামেচার কাপে উত্তীর্ণ হবে। এই 8টি দল ডাবল এলিমিনেশনে লড়াই করবে এবং বিজয়ী শীর্ষস্থানীয় 3টি দল আমন্ত্রিত হবে ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে। ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে প্রতিযোগিতা করবে শীর্ষস্থানীয় 3টি দল এবং আমন্ত্রিত 3টি দল। ইনভিটেশনাল কাপের সময় অপেশাদার কাপ এবং ইনভিটেশনাল কাপের শীর্ষ 2টি দল উচ্চ ব্র্যাকেটে খেলবে এবং তৃতীয় স্থানের দলগুলি একই পর্বের নিম্ন ব্র্যাকেটে খেলবে। প্রথম রাউন্ডের প্রতিটি ম্যাচ হবে সিঙ্গল এলিমিনেশন ফরম্যাটে। উচ্চ ব্র্যাকেটের দুটি বিজয়ী দল তারপর ডাবল এলিমিনেশন পর্যায়ে এগিয়ে যাবে। ডাবল এলিমিনেশন পর্বে হেরে যাওয়া দলটি তখন নিম্ন ব্র্যাকেটের দলের বিপক্ষে প্রতিদ্বন্দ্বিতা করবে। এই পর্যায়ে নিম্ন ব্র্যাকেটের যে দলটি হারবে তাদেরকে তৃতীয় স্থান হিসেবে শিরোনাম দেওয়া। ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে অংশ নেওয়া সমস্ত 6টি দল পরের মাসের অপেশাদার কাপে আবার প্রতিযোগিতা করে বেরিয়ে আসতে হবে, যার উদ্দেশ্য নতুন এবং উন্নত দলগুলিকে অপেশাদার কাপে প্রতিযোগিতার সুযোগ দেওয়া। এর দ্বারা ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে আরও অভিজ্ঞ দলের সাথে তাদের দক্ষতা পরীক্ষার চক্রটি পুনরাবৃত্তি করা হচ্ছে। আমরা অর্থাৎ ESPL কিভাবে বাংলাদেশের দলগুলি পাওয়ার আপ সিরিজে পারফর্ম করে তা দেখার অপেক্ষায় রয়েছি। আপনার স্কোয়াড প্রস্তুত করুন এবং সিরিজটি শুরু হওয়ার জন্য প্রস্তুত থাকুন। গুড লাক এজেন্টস।
Every young gamer wants to become an esports professional. We make it happen. You just keep on winning.
স্বাগতম বাংলাদেশের জন্য ESPL Valorant PowerUp সিরিজ ফরম্যাটে আপনাকে জানাই স্বাগতম। এই সিরিজটি রায়ট গেমস দক্ষিণ এশিয়া সমর্থিত একটি উদ্যোগ যা বাংলাদেশের ভেতরে অপেশাদার গেমারদের প্রতিভা বজায় রাখতে এবং বৃদ্ধি করতে সহায়তা করবে। এর সুবিধার্থে PowerUp সিরিজটিতে প্রতি মাসে দুটি প্রাইজ পুল সহ দুটি টুর্নামেন্ট থাকবে। প্রতিটি মাস শুরু হবে একটি বাছাই পর্বের সাথে, যেখানে সবগুলি দল সিঙ্গল এলিমিনেশন ফরম্যাটে প্রতিযোগিতা করবে শীর্ষ 8টি দল পর্যন্ত এবং এই 8টি দল অ্যামেচার কাপে উত্তীর্ণ হবে। এই 8টি দল ডাবল এলিমিনেশনে লড়াই করবে এবং বিজয়ী শীর্ষস্থানীয় 3টি দল আমন্ত্রিত হবে ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে। ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে প্রতিযোগিতা করবে শীর্ষস্থানীয় 3টি দল এবং আমন্ত্রিত 3টি দল। ইনভিটেশনাল কাপের সময় অপেশাদার কাপ এবং ইনভিটেশনাল কাপের শীর্ষ দুটি দল উচ্চ ব্র্যাকেটে খেলবে এবং তৃতীয় স্থানের দলগুলি একই পর্বের নিম্ন ব্র্যাকেটে খেলবে। প্রথম রাউন্ডের প্রতিটি ম্যাচ হবে সিঙ্গল এলিমিনেশন ফরম্যাটে। উচ্চ ব্র্যাকেটের দুটি বিজয়ী দল তারপর ডাবল এলিমিনেশন পর্যায়ে এগিয়ে যাবে। ডাবল এলিমিনেশন পর্বে হেরে যাওয়া দলটি তখন নিম্ন ব্র্যাকেটের দলের বিপক্ষে প্রতিদ্বন্দ্বিতা করবে। এই পর্যায়ে নিম্ন ব্র্যাকেটের যে দলটি হারবে তাদেরকে তৃতীয় স্থান হিসেবে শিরোনাম দেওয়া। ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে অংশ নেওয়া সমস্ত 6টি দল পরের মাসের অপেশাদার কাপে আবার প্রতিযোগিতা করে বেরিয়ে আসতে হবে, যার উদ্দেশ্য নতুন এবং উন্নত দলগুলিকে অপেশাদার কাপে প্রতিযোগিতার সুযোগ দেওয়া। এর দ্বারা ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে আরও অভিজ্ঞ দলের সাথে তাদের দক্ষতা পরীক্ষার চক্রটি পুনরাবৃত্তি করা হচ্ছে।
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the ESPL Valorant PowerUp Series 5. We're here in the Amateur Cup Series 5 upper bracket finals between MercenarieZ Esports and LarioX Esports. And what a match it has been. This the first map in the best of 3 series that we have for you today on Bind. And that was such an intense match. LarioX showing some slow plays in the start. They were aggressive as they usually are, but MercenarieZ with the big brain Astra and Killjoy plays definitely put some immense pressure on them at the first. But LRX, after winning a few rounds, the momentum was on their side. They used the brains and the bronze that they had to pull off the win. And I think it was 13-11 the score. So we're going to be going into the second map right now in Ascent, which is the pick of MercenarieZ. We're going to expect MercenarieZ to hopefully take the win, hopefully make this 1-1 to go to the third map. So there's not really much to say except for going into the map itself and finding out who's the better team in this map. So I'm Kirito. Alongside with me is my co-caster, Kalashnikov. How are you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing. Thank you so much. And right now, it's the next map. And next map, it's gonna be different because Ascent is really tactical. It's really balanced, and the best team to basically hold off and calm off and just stick up to their plan, stick up to their aggression, and being really defensive is gonna win this match because you have to use your mind a lot to take the control. And here we have a mid, which is really crucial for the control of the map, making it really skeptical for every team to just take over the map. So being that said, we are having a big match coming off, and the last match which we saw between MercenarieZ and LRX was really a big bang coming off because initially MercenarieZ was in lead and was doing really awesome on the starting, but later on when everything was on the loose, MercenarieZ just made everything really hard for any team to just compensate on that. So being that said, we're commencing a match which is gonna be a really different for a team like MercenarieZ to come back, because if MercenarieZ doesn't come back on this match, and if they do not win this map, it's basically gonna be a point of no return for a team like MercenarieZ. So MercenarieZ has to win this one to go back to the third map. And right now, what we are expecting is something different from both of the teams. And right now, as we speak, this is being the talk of the house, that is LRX gonna still hold up to their point of aggression and win this map, or we are gonna see mercenaries coming off on this time and around and making a difference right now.
A lot of pressure on Mercenaries indeed, especially after losing that first map, being so close to victory. And I gotta say, they were tactically the superior team. They had the proper strategies in place, the utility, everything was perfect for them. But in the end, I think LRX just found out their weaknesses and exploited those, combining aggression with brains, and that is in the end what caused them. So hopefully, I mean, they're gonna learn from their mistakes. And considering this being the map pick of Mercenaries, I do expect to see a bit different result. And in the past matches, I have seen Mercenaries perform really well in this map. LRX2 aren't that bad on Ascent, but compared to Mercenaries, I have to say their success isn't as much. So it's gonna be interesting for sure. I do expect to see pretty much the same lineup from these teams. Um, but yeah, we can see basically both teams playing the same agent selection from the last match, except I think we're going to see Cypher come in from Experiment 52. He's going to play a lot more passively right now. Envious and Kyojin going to take the duelist roles, Jet and Phoenix respectively, trying to go out and get those kills for LRX. On the other side, we're going to see Field still sticking with that Astra. Definitely still a unique play, definitely very new to the Bangladeshi Valorant scene. This agent rarely has seen any light in the gameplay. So let's see what he can pull off in the map of Ascent. Definitely, we're hoping to see some unique tactical plays coming off from him. Coordinated with Lethal, we did see last round. He made quite a difference for his team. So hopefully they're gonna be able to replicate that performance and able to counter any kind of aggression that LRX throw at them.
And about the aggression we are seeing, about the aggression we are thinking about right now, it's basically, that's what makes us the toughest part over here. And for now, what we're seeing here is both of the teams now focusing on the mid control. We are seeing them creating distraction, playing slow. Although we have 1 minute 25 seconds on the clock, really less time. We aren't seeing any stable pushes coming off. We are seeing both of the teams pushing towards the end point of the site of B, getting the information that it might be an A or maybe a rotation. It's really hard to say what LRX is thinking in their mind. They might be just playing through their minds, trying to, playing at plot twists against their opponents and making amends for the pushes coming over here. But now we're seeing LRX with their classic pushes coming off. We're seeing 3 versus 5 situation on the side of B. No, it's a 2 versus 5, and we're seeing full around pushes coming off. We're seeing Hermoine on the recon drone trying to get some information. We're seeing here he goes to the market trying to scope through. Yes, oh my god, Kyojin! What was that? Kyojin on the first frag of the world, Mugiman getting the second one.
left.
We're seeing 30 seconds on the clock. Oh, Japanese Tor on the one frag. Japanese Tor on the second. Mercenaries, what are you doing? You just swiped out LRX. What was that? Oh my god. That was really...
coming around. I mean, the execution was so good from LRX. The utility was good. The pushes were absolutely perfect. And especially the shot from Kyojin through the smoke. I was like, okay, I guess LRX have this site, but Japanese Thor in boathouse on B, he held on to the side long enough, even got a couple of frags there, and he was alive long enough for his teammates to come in and support him. They took down the rest of the players, and they somehow won that. That was really impressive coming out of Mercenaries. A good defensive hold, and again, LRX this time on the eco, having to save, going with pistols, and they're rushing towards A, but look at the utility at A. Look at all those icons in the entrance. Killjoy and Astra playing together, and already the utility working in their favor. And you getting a first frag onto Kyojin. And we can see LR still trying to go in. Lunatic getting caught in the gravitational pull. Lethal getting a frag onto Hermione, and slowly things are falling apart. Envious makes something of it though. Takes down Lethal. Still plenty of frags to go. Murgiman taking the Lunatic, but Lunatic not dying before taking one player out. Though in the end, it doesn't matter. Mercenaries win the second round with ease. They did have the superior weapons, and the Astra and Killjoy combination, I'm telling you, man, they are playing that so well. And even looking at the map, I was intimidated to see the amount of utilities, the amount of utility being placed in A. I didn't really think LRS had much hope going into A.
And that being said, I mean, speaking of hope, hope is all that needs right now for both of the teams, because right now it's really hard to say what's gonna be what and what is gonna be what. Because right, look at this, both of the teams, having this amount of pushes coming off on both sides. We're not sure about which team is gonna perform how. But right now, to this all, we're seeing pushes coming off on both of the angles, and we're seeing flashes coming off. B pushes once again. LRX getting inside, but misses the shot. We're seeing one more frag on the board. 1-1 takes back. And another one. Fields getting one more frag, but Hermoine takes back one more frag on the board. We're seeing quick takes on the side of LRX. LRX trying to get back on the board. We're seeing this is coming off. It's 1v2 situation. And run and gun coming off inside of Japanese store. Finishing off LRX. And this is flawless 3 rounds coming out. Almost flawless 3 rounds coming off on the side of MercenarieZ being unstoppable on acid. I think we're gonna see something different tonight.
Indeed, that side hold was so good coming in, and considering that was Alex's buy round, Mercenaries were still on the bonus weapons, and winning that, that has to be a huge boost in their favor. I mean, they already were riding on a 2-0 wave. Right now, they're definitely feeling themselves, and there's like, look at Murgy Man. Oh, Lunatic with a 1-tap on Japanese Thor, but the trade coming in from Murgy Man. He's gonna pick up the rifle from his teammate. And right now, LRX, I mean, they were looking to push to the side of B, but right now that is looking really unlikely. You see a recon coming in, but Experiment, he's gonna open up the side of B, taking down Murgy Man. And B is theirs for the taking, but they're still gonna hold patiently as we see rotations come in from A. Both Astra and Fields are still alive though, Fields and Lethal. That's gonna make going into A lot more difficult as Fields is spotted out with the Sovo drone from Hermione, and they're gonna be backing off from B, going towards A right now. But look at this aggressive position held by Nuke. If he peeks right now, he can easily get a frag, maybe 2. Oh, he sees the gun barrel. Spots Experiment, and he takes him down from behind. But from top mid, Kyoji, not much you can do with a Sheriff at that range too. It's a 2v3. LRX still have the bomb, NBS. They do have rifles and Hermione though with the Marshall. We have seen him in the past perform really well with that. Nuke barely avoiding a shot there. A shot red coming in, but Hermione pulling out the Sheriff. He gets a shot onto Nuke on the head, and that's gonna open up the B side. Oh my god, picking up, getting a frag, but he is so low, 34 HP. 13 seconds, they're going to be able to plant the bomb. MercenarieZ Lethal is the only one alive for his team to clutch this round up. Keep this flawless streak going for them. And it is looking really possible though, because we do see Hermione really low in HP. Envy as the holding a good position. Flash could be detrimental. Oh, the timing on that. Hermione peeking at the exact moment Lethal was looking away. And that's going to bring a round in favor of LRX. Finally, after 3 in a row, they're going to show us that they still got it. There, despite losing 3 in a row, it's not the end of the world. They're also going to be able to pick up a couple of guns, so the economy is going to have some relief. On the other side, we're seeing MercenarieZ. They were so recently even going to go for an operator right now. Murgy Man with the op.
And seeing these teams fight like this, it's making me think both of the teams are gonna give up, because right now LRX with the last round coming off the board, it's really nice to watch. But we're seeing Nuke wasting his ultimate on the really first moments of the round. Might be going for the track on first moment, but that didn't work out that way. We're seeing LRX taking mid control and getting a coordinated push towards A. But we're still seeing the Cypher on the team that is basically Experiment waiting on the backside and just waiting there for the bomb. But no, they're still going for the A push, I guess. Yep, and they are doing that. And we're seeing Shotgun coming up, and MercenarieZ nukes. Nice initiative utility getting the information off the board, misses all the shots. We're seeing Lethal doing a lot of damage, but not enough. We're seeing Envious taking out Murgy Man. Really good frags coming up on the side of LRX, making some difference. MercenarieZ nuke is on 1 HP. Only a bit of wind is gonna kill him. It's 1 HP. And one mistaken shot might make a difference right now. LRX taking back the side 3 versus 4 situation. Versus Fields trying to, make some difference right now, making some, damage, trying to pull off. Seeing Japanese Thor coming off. Well, oh, Kyojin!
The timing on the recon.
Oh my god. Anyways, we're seeing less time coming off. Really less time. We're seeing Fields on the frag on the board and experimenting LRX for more and finish him off. LRX getting the fifth round of the board, and we're seeing LRX still not giving up. And we're seeing a hard fight coming up on the both of the teams. So guys, stick up. This is not gonna be easy. This is not gonna be the one. This is not gonna be one-sided. It's gonna be a hard fight. One hard fight coming on both of the teams. None of them are gonna give up their pedestals. And right now we're seeing promising performance from both of the teams. Hard to say what's going to happen next.
It's definitely difficult to predict what's going to happen in this map, but I can predict that this round should go in favor of LRX, considering the utility from Mercenaries and the weapons from Mercenaries aren't what they prefer to be. The economy isn't the best, so they're going to try and save, and Lunacy takes advantage of that. An interesting off angle on top of that little shop outside B, and Boogeyman, I mean, he really loves to play aggressive. He really loves to go ahead on the side as soon as the barriers go down, but LRX has exploited that, and a second frag too, taking on Japanese Sword. That's gonna leave the side of B open for their taking. They're even did they spot lethal? I mean, even if they don't spot him, there isn't much you can do to deny the entry. As we see LRX taking the side of B, and they can easily get the bomb plant down. They even have all their ultimates to make plays to defend this side. But I'm sure in an eco, in a 5v3, they do want to save all of that if possible. And oh, did Nuke disconnect? I think Nuke disconnected. Yes, Nuke is not moving. He's stuck on the A side, and it's essentially a 2v4 right, 2v5 right now. Make that a 5v1. Hermione taking on Lethal with a well-placed headshot, and Fields the only one alive. The Astra going into astral form to try and make something happen, using the gravitational pull to expose some enemies in the open, but there's not much you can do with the frenzy as the whole side of LRX fall back. He tries to go for some exit frags, but 5 people stare back at him with Vandals in hand and easily get those shots. And that is it for Mercenaries in this round. Last player still alive, new, but he isn't in the match. He is disconnected outside the lobby, so I think we're going to go into a technical pause immediately after, wait for him to reconnect so we can have a fair and square match. But that was a really good round coming out. I mean, even if it wasn't equal for Mercy, it's a really good round coming out of LRX, and they even stayed really patient in the sites, letting the Mercenaries be the one who come into their crosshair. So what do you think of that round, those plays from LRX?
Well, LRX, you know about LRX, okay? That LRX is basically on the linear pushes, okay? They solely depend on their entries. If the entry is successful, LRX will win that round. If the entry is not successful, if they lose a single manpower, LRX is never going to come back. That's what the thing is about LRX. LRX is solely dependent on their mechanical skill and their basically the whole manpower they're always holding. So that's what making LRX very, very viable and powerful. But if they miss that kind of manpower in the very first times of the matches, that's what's going to make LRX fall down and fall back to the position they should not be in. So about that, Mercenaries still being really dependent on really good on the usage of utilities, making LRX really powerful. And we're seeing NVS pushing off, NVS getting off the board, but couldn't make any difference right now. We're seeing Thor getting, oh my god, Thor is so stuck there. Harmoin getting one frag off the board. Mugiman does some damage, falls back, gets a reload, does some damage. Mugiman will die to the spray of Kyojin. LRX, that nuke? What were you doing? Was that a Guardian?
Yeah,
was that a Guardian spam?
Yeah.
Okay. So the difference coming off the board, and we're seeing pushes coming off, and Mercenaries is in trouble. Lethal, and also Mugiman is in Nuke is in trouble. And yes, Hermoine finishes off, gets their misery out of the reach and finishes off. Really good round. One more trashing round coming off the side of LRX. Enough to just destroy the confidence, the momentum of Mercenaries, making them fall back to the skeptical buys, or what we call the ecos. But we're also seeing a forge away. Okay. Vando?
Japanese
Oh, no.
Thor,
Never mind.
he's gonna reverse back. I mean, it wasn't the right option to go for anyways, but it would have been a gamble anyways. But he's gonna try and play it safe with the eco. A lot of pressure on Mercenaries indeed, taking a lot of fire in their own map pick, having to lose 4 in a row after winning 3 in a row to unexpected from indeed. And look at that TP coming out of NBS. Sorry, not NBS, my bad. It's Lunatic, and NBS is going to take the first strike on the fields. And this is an eco for Mercenaries, so it's going to be really tough for them to come back from this. But in thrifty win would be a good momentum boost for them, but it isn't looking likely in a 4v5 scenario. Lunatic spots lethal at that range with the Phantom. Murgyman finally getting a kill for his team, taking down Lunatic. He sees Hermione on main, but he runs out of ammo. Hermione with 2, Nuke getting one more onto NVS. There are guns in front of him, but with a friend, there's not much he can do. He does. Oh, he gets Kyojin, but he sees the other player rushing. Hermione backing off. He knows that he shouldn't overextend. Shock darts coming his way. Not doing much damage though, but this time Nuke, he's gonna reply with his own shock darts, which will do not any damage. But oh, the second one will do significant. This is now very much winnable. Even if it's not winnable, he can do some economic damage here because both players are low. Hermione with very low HP is gonna fall back, but Nuke, he's gonna opt to go for the round loss bonus, dying into the spike blast. So yeah, even in death, he's trying to be tactically advantaged to his team. So that's his Mercenaries in the nutshell for you. Trying to be, having the better strategy, better be tactical superiority, as you like to call it. So they are going to be using that extra money to go for the buy in this next round, having the same level of weapons as LarioX.
Well, that's what's gonna give Mercenaries a chance to replenish their stocks, replenish their arsenal, and to match against LRX, because LRX is not gonna stop right now. LRX is not gonna stop their aggression right now, because right now LRX is not ready to give even a single space, a single, even a single amount of, that kind of space.
They have the spike in the base in my map. Am I seeing that right?
Yeah, you're seeing that right. And for your, what do you call it? The reminder is they're getting back to get the spike. So yeah, like, hey, wait a minute. Did the caster say we missed the spike?
Happens to everyone.
Oh my god. So Kirito, thanks Kirito. You just saved our lives, man. Thank you. So basically, it's 1 minute off the clock. They don't have much time left. So they're gonna basically come back to B and they're gonna push it. And if it's gonna be B, it's gonna be really good for them, because right now there's only one guy at B. If the entry is successful, they're gonna make a one hell of a difference. Where we're seeing Hunter Street coming up, making a good amount of damage. New getting 1 damage off the board. Nice kill on Experiment, finishing off the first fragger of the board. Really important frags coming off, and we are seeing, maybe this is shock dart. Yes, we are seeing a shock dart.
30
but
seconds
does any damage? No, it doesn't. 30 seconds off the clock. Mugiman takes 1 frag off the board, and we are seeing like really less time off the board. We're seeing a full rotation. It's gonna be 20 seconds. They have to do it. It's do or die. Really less time. They're gonna have to do the entry. They have to do it. 30 seconds of the clock is really being hard for anyone to do that. LRX going for the frag off the board. We're seeing flag coming off. 5 seconds. LRX. Can they do it? Yes, they did. And we're seeing Mercenaries on deploying Killjoy.
The lineup. Oh no, this could be detrimental. But they were ready for it.
Oh my god.
And we have seen Lethal use that same lineup in the past, so it was sort of predictable.
So we're seeing pushes coming off and issues coming off, and nice one we're coming through. Really good night. LRX tried their best, but too late. Sad. Really sad for LRX, but nice try for LRX. Really good damage on the economy, making a difference right now. But LRX is still in lead, but that round was really sad for LRX.
I gotta say the game sense for Mercenaries is really well. We did see Nuke rotate to A when he realized that there's only 20 seconds left. So it's either gonna be whichever side he sees a player in. So he immediately rotated to A. He did see Kyojin there outside the B main, and then the call was given to his team that okay, I guess it's B then, since there's only A, since there's only 20 seconds left. So that's the side they have to push, right? Because there's no time. But in the end, Mercenaries didn't really play aggressive. They gave the site to them, and I'm not sure if that spelled their demise or not, but we do see them playing a lot more passive than usual. But I mean, they're passive in general, but we're seeing a little bit more passive plays coming from more aggressive players like Fields and Japanese Thor. So we're gonna see immediately a frag go down, Murgyman taken down out for the round. A duelist is not gonna play in the rest of this matchup. And we can see LRX trying to go towards the side of A. A lot of presence still in mid though as they all stack up. But Hermione with the ultimate, he's gonna take down Lethal, and the B side, sorry, A side is pretty open right now. Looks very tasty to take, but Nuke, he's gonna provide some resistance, but not much as he almost takes on Kyojin, but Nuke just couldn't connect the shots in the end. The Phantom, the spraying in the end, you know, in those last few bullets of the spray, it's really unpredictable, really hard to control. He did his best, but the site will be taken by LRX. The post-plant scenario for Mercenary is not looking very good. They do have rifles, but I think they should try and save them. I mean, they will be losing a round, but hopefully if they're able to save those weapons, they can use that in the next round, provide some economic shelter for their team, and possibly tie things up, make it 6-6 going into the next half, and have that aggressive dominance that you usually have, playing aggressive along with some tactical utility usage. So the side will the round will be going in favor of LRX, as LRX already out of sight trying to hunt the two players. They're not going to give them any what do you call it, like any chance to save their weapons, and immediately they're really close to Japanese Thor there. They won't find him, not in time at least. And the round's gonna go to LRX. Mercenary is going for the save.
Well, I have to say it's really nice to watch, but sometimes I just really wonder, like, maybe they're gonna make a difference because LRX, it's still, getting the lead. Because look at the aggression, okay? They just gets inside and just gets the frag overboard, and one frag you lose, one man you lose, it's gonna give you a really, really big disadvantage to your position. And that being said, when LRX finds you, they overwhelms you, right? Totally overwhelms you. So that's that. Japanese tour with one frag off the board, but Kyojin takes one more. Kyojin gets two refrags off the board, making big change. Yep, making a big change right there. And now they're just doing some Harmoin. Okay, so it's a 4v2. It's basically a full pushes coming off on the side of B, and Murgyman gets taken off. Murgyman with a bold push coming off, and he got Murgyman! What were you doing? Experience expect one frag more. It's 2v1 situation, all down to one guy. But Murgyman, my goodness, this guy never fails to amaze us. Never ever, man. Anyways, this is Mr. MercenarieZ Lethal coming off 1v2 situation. He's gonna go for the clutch because it's 1v2. And he believes he can do it. He's with the Phantom against one Phantom, one Vandal. Might make a difference. And he lands up this, a really good one. Goes for some pre-fires, less time coming off. He gets tracked down. And right now he has no time. Sadly, he shouldn't have done that. He should have fallen back, saved the weapon instead of just standing there, because he forget that this wall is bangable and doable. So we're seeing last round before the swap. 74-7 for LRX, 4 for MercenarieZ. MercenarieZ doesn't make a good progress yet. And let's expect something from MercenarieZ now, shall we?
Well, this being the last round in this first half, they have the buy weapons in their hand, the rifles in their hand. So ending off this first half with a bang is what they're trying to do. Finishing with a win. Having some momentum boost in their favor going into the next half. We do know that they're really aggressive in attacking, but, well, their main frontman, Murgyman, he's aggressing all right. I love his aggression, but sometimes he needs the support to be able to at least be traded out, as he's immediately going to get taken out. I think it was by Kyojin at the start of this round, and that's going to give LRX a lot of room to gain an aggressive push coming in from Japanese. So he's going to push through that Phoenix wall. But Experiment is going to take out Fields in mid, but that ultimate not doing much in the favor. Nuke and Lethal, though, they take care of enemy as an Experiment. It's a 3v3. Japanese Thor is going to put that in his team's advantage, but Lethal right in front of him. Lunatic with a slow pick isn't the way to go there. At such close range, he's going to see the barrel of his enemy's gun, and Hermione pushing into the lineup. Will they line up? No, he gets one frag onto Japanese Thor. And a 1v2, he has the bomb. The A side is his. He's going to fall back by quite a margin, giving him a lot of room to work with. And Hermione being really patient. 40 seconds left on the clock. What's he gonna do? There is still some killjoy utility available for him. He's gonna
30
clear out
seconds
this
left.
entire catwalk area, but Nuke with a really interesting positioning to hide himself. And Hermione's not going to be able to protect that. Only 20 seconds left. He has to go for the plant. He's going to go towards Jenny and even set up recon towards Heaven. But oh, Nuke, this could be
Spike
all
planted.
on timing. But oh, he runs away the exact
Last
perfect
player
timing. And
standing.
Hermione gets the frag onto Nuke. It's a 1v1. Both players low on HP. You can see a spam coming in. Hermione only 27. Lethal with 40 HP. He knows he has to go hell. He's gonna jump in towards the generator side and spot him in the left side of hell. And Lethal's gonna win the final round for his team. I gotta say, Nuke and Lethal play those crucial frags onto Experiment and Lunatic and NBS were all they needed to finish off that round. 7-5 the score, and LRX, I don't think they should let that last round phase them at all. So they still have the round advantage, and they still have quite some confidence and aggression left in them in the defensive half. So let's see what they do.
Well, 75 is not a bad split, to be honest. It's really doable for both of the teams, and it's going to win by LRX or win by MercenarieZ. It's really doable. But the thing is, like, what the difference is going to be is we might see, that amount of, power up, power up kind of performance coming up from MercenarieZ. Because in this defensive side, when you just switch to your side, it's not about defense. When you basically switch to your side, you just have that refresh amount of plans coming off when you are just scattered on through the map through the time of matches when you're playing extensively and going through the hard pressurized moments. But now when the sides change, you took a time out. Now it's the time to freshen up your mind, freshen up your decision, understand what you're going to do next, because your observations, your discussion will really have a less time. You will only have 20 to 30 seconds or about a minute to discuss what's gonna be your part of the deal. What's gonna be your your performance, strategy. What's gonna be your counter performance for the enemies for next 10 to 12 rounds. So that being said, we might be seeing that kind of change, expecting that kind of change on the side of MercenarieZ, because right now, what we saw for a few rounds back, basically MercenarieZ wasn't doing so well. LRX was doing really well, but right now, when LRX is in defense, now is the main touch of the aggression they're gonna face. They're gonna face their own taste of medicine if MercenarieZ can really pull off that amount of pressure coming off. Anyways, it's 15 seconds on the clock for the start of the round, and we're seeing a stack up on the side of B. B having only one defender and one on the mid. It's basically 1:2:1 split on the formations, and they might have a bit of information coming off. Yes, they do, and they might be pushing yet so far. Smoke's going off, still waiting for that push to come off. We're seeing a rotation on all, basically 3 of them rotating on this side, and we're seeing an entry coming off on the side, some blank fires coming off, making a bit of damage, but not so much. We're seeing pushes coming off, we're seeing utility usage, we're seeing plants coming off. Let's see what happens next. We're seeing attackers getting inside. LRX still didn't leave their sides, so basically 5v5. The site has been taken. They have to push it. Can they make it happen? No, they don't. Murky takes back the first frag on the Lunatic. And we're seeing pushes coming off, coordinated pushes coming off. LRX is still not making any difference. And we're seeing spams coming out with pistol, but no shots hidden yet. Murky on a second frag and gets one frag. Envious does, but not enough. And MercenarieZ just wiped out LRX just like that. Really good round coming out from the side of MercenarieZ. As we said, fresh time. Cards might change, tables will be flipped, situations will change, and then history will be made.
Well, history will know that LRX didn't really play aggressive in that defensive half in the first round of defense. I mean, they are usually known for being really violent whichever side they're playing. But right now, are you seeing this map? We're gonna take a moment and look at the map. We're gonna see an absolute bloodbath going down in this A side. Both teams fully stacking out. Quite a bit of a gamble, I would say, from LRX, but the gamble being right indeed as they're gonna hold positions here. But Mercenaries with the superior weapon Spectres, some counter frags coming though, but it's in the end going to the side with the superior weapons, and that was a quick round indeed. I don't think we made it 10 seconds into the round, but yeah, there isn't much to expect when like Spectres, high rate of fire weapons, really accurate, in such narrow corners, are being faced against pistols and frenzies. So even I think he even shot shorty there. So there wasn't really much LRX could LRX could do there, but they just wanted to end the round quick, just get their hands on those rifles. But now 7-7 the score. This is where I think LRX should again start playing much more aggressive, playing with their usual violent selves, and we can see Mercenaries showing some aggression right now. They're gonna push into this A-side takedown experiment with such dominant fashion. The rest of the players are trying to come back into the rotations, but it's too late. The bomb plant immediately going down from Mercenaries. Lethal's gonna be down, he's gonna plant. Murgiman even pulling out the jet ultimate. He's gonna updraft towards heaven, he's gonna spot the drone. Did he shoot the drone with his knives? That isn't the right decision as Lunatic gets a frag onto Japanese Thor. Murgiman taking some damage from the Killjoy utility fields, getting a frag on the NVS. A bunch of trades going down. It's a 2v3 in favor of LRX, but there's a trade coming down indeed. But Kyojin, what is the dash from Kyojin? That was absolute beautiful timing in the peaks. Oh, the coordination. That was beautiful as Kyojin moves away. Hermione takes his place to peek. And when he was taking fire, when he went into cover, Kyojin peaked. So there is, I mean, basically, whoever that player was in hell, I think it was Murgiman or Nuke, but he had no peace at all. He was just getting constantly peeked at from either of the players. So that round going in favor of LRX, keeping the lead, 8-7 the score.
Here.
And we're gonna be seeing another, I think it's a force buy coming out of LRX. They did have some bonus weapons. We're gonna see a couple of players stick with those Spectres, and immediately we're gonna see a Shockguard coming out of Nuke, trying to slow down any kind of aggression from LRX, pushing into the side of outside the side of A, which we do see Kyojin do quite a lot, but this time he's not gonna get caught. And a lot of ground gain by Mercenaries in this mid region. Astral Smoke's gonna come down, try and provide some cover for the player Mercenaries as they make their way through Garden. As we can see, Murgiman pushing through the smoke. Kyojin, he isn't aware of his positioning as the peek comes in, but oh, the flick! Murgiman gets the frag onto Kyojin. Jet diff, if I might say, but the side take is still quite difficult for them to go in. As I'm not sure what NVS tried to do with that little molly there, but that sort of denied his own team's entrance. Lunatic, the only one inside. There isn't much he could do. Sorry, not NVS. That was the Japanese Thor. My bad. Hermione getting a trade onto Japanese Thor. It's a 3v4 scenario. Hermione getting a frag onto Fields. It's a 3v3. Hermione! Triple kill. Taking down Lethal as well. And he has a spike too on lane. Gonna send out a recon to give the information to this team. It's not gonna find anyone. That isn't needed as the players already know that there's a player in B main and in market. Drone gonna provide some more information, but oh, it was just a little bit slow. Not enough to save Experiment. Murgiman gonna run away with that frag there. And only 10 seconds left on the clock. Mercenaries have to make a move right now. Hermione gets a frag onto Nuke. He's on for the ace, but doesn't get it. Murgiman, he gets his own 4K. Saves his team. 8 the score. They're gonna keep things tied up, and that was such a close round, coming down right to the wire.
And that's that. Like, sometimes I just think, like, maybe what we're seeing right now is something different, because every time they just make a big move, big bold move, we see them having that amount of aggression coming off, and Mercenaries isn't gonna give up that easily. They're gonna see the last of it, and right now the suspense is getting higher. We don't know what's gonna happen next. But anyways, this fast aggression coming off. Can he get it for few kills? Yes, he does. Give it a start. What's his new man? Mercenaries almost that. He's got the first frag on the board. Finishing off everyone as fast as possible. Really
Not
fast.
losing a single player.
Exactly. Lightning fast, we call it. So that was something coming out of Mercenaries really fast, and I don't think LRX really expected that, and we're seeing Experiment waiting to die basically, and flawless round coming out of the Mercenaries. Oh my god, Mercenaries, what's that split second wipeout just like that? Really awesome to watch. And Kirito, I have like, dude, what was that? I mean, explain to me, man. I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean, that is so unmercenaries like to like play that aggressive. I mean, I guess all teams do it eventually. You know, have to change strategies up. But that was the best time to do that. I think they knew that his LRX were on that eco, so you know, it was quite a gamble too, because mercenaries too don't have all rifles in their hands, but the aggression paid off. They made the side theirs without losing a single player, and they took that round, getting themselves in the lead. And oh, look at this position. The Japanese thought he doesn't check his left, but the ult still makes it through to the side. The A side is slowly being opened up, but an ultimate coming in from the side of mercenaries, trying to find a player. Will get some, well, not, doesn't get any tags, I think, I'm not sure, but right now the rotation coming in from mercenaries, quick rotation towards mid. Morgan, he's still gonna go aggressive towards crossing the smoke, but Kyojin is gonna want to take him out. A trade coming in from Fields though, as he takes on Experiment. Hermione with his own frag on the field. It's a 3v4. LRX have the man advantage. The bomb plant is yet to go down. They have control of the bomb in mid. I didn't even realize. As Japanese source tries to rotate around, wrap around through CT, but I think LRX are aware of that. As they hear the noises of the flash, he's gonna flash through the smoke, and New gets it back into Hermione. A trade coming in from Lunatic, but Lethal, so many trades. It's a 2v2 right now. But oh, Lethal with one more takes on Lunatic, but Lunatic triple kill this round, saves his team. What is this match, man? He's just one round Mercenaries, one round LRX. There's nothing separating these two teams.
Like, it's really, I mean, how do you even think of separating? Like, after all of that, I won't say anything about separation, because this is not separation what we're seeing right now. This is utter bloodbaths we're seeing, because basically all of this having coming back on both sides is making a lot of difference. And right now, expecting any of that, you know, it's really gonna be harder and harder to anticipate. And speaking of anticipation, what we are seeing here is basically gonna be really hard for us, any of us, to basically understand, and that's what makes us really hard to anticipate anything. So it's 9-9, 1 minute 25 of the clock, and it's really gonna be a hard one to go through. And we're seeing Hunter Fury coming off, Mugiman taking one frag, Experiment takes back one more, Harmoin gets one bit of damage, but not too much. We're seeing Lethal on that, Experiment takes 2 frags off the board. We're seeing good frags coming up on anything, and we're seeing Harmoin taking back one more. Experiment taking on the 3rd frag, making the thing happen, and Experiment's all that left, but Fields finishes off the clutch, makes it on their loose, 10-9, 10 for Mercenaries, 9 for LRX. LRX, this isn't good looking good.
I mean, the match is still close. It's still winnable, but this eco, I mean, I think Mercenaries might go aggressive again. But I have to say, Kyojin missing that ult shot is potentially what lost him the round, because we did see Experiment getting a triple kill that round. He did his part. He, as a Cypher too, he also gathered some information, provided whatever resistance he could for the attackers. But in the end, he, after all that he's done, he was low on HP, so it just wasn't enough to take down Fields, who easily got the frag onto Kyojin. So I think Kyojin, if he connected that shot, that round could have been theirs relatively easily. But right now we're going to see an eco on the side of LRX, and that is coming to show as Hermione. He's going to get one, but traded out immediately. We do see Lunatic also getting taken out early into the round. Japanese are with one more. I mean, Mercenaries know they're ecoing. They're just pushing in with the rifles. Right now, both there's NBS and Kyojin with pistols, essentially. So there's not much they can do unless, you know, they pull off some miracle. Kyojin giving away a lot of noise. That's not good. Japanese Star takes down NBS. Not good for Kyojin though. He gets one frag onto Japanese Star, but Mugiman with the Vandal finishes it off. 11-9 the score, and Mercenary is slowly running away with it. I mean, LRX as a whole, they're just losing too many rounds. This back and forth isn't really what's helping them. They need a momentum, and they need to win like 2 or 3 rounds in a row to go into a comfortable state, and they need aggression, controlled aggression to be more specific to do that. So we're still waiting on that from them. Players like NVS and Experiment, who were really big fraggers in the last match. I expect them to step up. So that is what they need right now.
Well, and it's really hard to say yet because we might be seeing a third map after all, and every one of them is basically out of times right now. And LRX is also out of options. They have to make a difference, but no, I don't think they will be able to. Already the one man lose. LRX Invades does one more damage. Really good damage, important damage they do, but not enough yet. And we're still seeing MercenarieZ feels doing really good right now. And we're still making an angle off the board, but Japanese still gets one frag off the board. Lunatics gets taken out. Japanese still MercenarieZ on the match point. Point of no return. So it's really anticipatable right now. MercenarieZ isn't gonna fall back yet easy.
And also look at the condition of LarioX's economy. All half armor, they're gonna go. They're gonna die that much quicker with the bullets of the rifles from MercenarieZ, considering having only 25 points in armor, and even not all full rifles on their hand. Experiment, he is gonna have to go for a bulldog, slower rate of fire, much less damage. Not the ideal weapon to take in a match point scenario for your opponents. And I think LRX want to play this really aggressively. Look at them all pushing down mid. They're all in the open right now, but Experiment making it. We're getting a frag onto fields. But essentially, the A side is completely open, and MercenarieZ, they are on the right side of the map to take that side easily without any resistance. They did lose one player, but still they have a bit of an advantage going into the sports ban, considering that they're only half armor players. I think Morgiman just got spotted. He gets taken down. Takes down one player. Kyojin with the trade, but Morgiman in a good position to take down one more player. It's a 3v3. There are ultimates available for MercenarieZ, so they'd love to use that in this match point scenario. But Experiment picking up the Phantom. The ult's coming in as we see Hermione taking fire from the ult of Nuke. But Experiment getting a triple kill onto Lethal. It's all onto Nuke, but he doesn't have his ultimate. Sprays a recon, but doesn't find it. He's gonna try and deny the bomb plan, but no! Hermione through the smoke gets the frag, and they're gonna stay alive in this match. 11 till the score. They need 2 more rounds to take this to overtime to potentially pull off one of the biggest upsets I've seen so far in this tournament.
And speaking of this tournament, now basically it's really hard to say what's gonna happen next. Though we saw LRX still being, that potentially really strong, still not giving up. But it's really hard to say because one little mistake right now can, throw the match in the next map. So yeah, 10 to 12 isn't so hard. Isn't so easy. It's basically a bit close to impossible, but it's not impossible. It's possible. But how much LRS can hold on to them? How much LRS can really pull off? How much LRS has them inside themselves? How much? That's what's gonna make the difference. Right now, what we're seeing is unfathomable, and we're seeing Experiment on the first frag. Mugiman takes back one another, and they might be making one difference. Mistakes are being made once again. When it's not looking good for LRX, it's all up to 2 people. It's LRX, Kyojin, and Envious making a difference. Envious making one difference, one mistake, and I think it's gonna destroy Envious, sadly. And yes, oh no, oh mate, okay, that's really nice. Teamwork coming off, 2v3, doable. Nuke is really going off the boards, up to Kyojin, 2 of them making a difference right now. Can they do it? Can they do it? It's gonna be a big thing for them. Making a noise. Can they do it? No! Lethal finish of the round. It's on the third map. Sadly, we're seeing third map of the board.
So close.
Absolutely unfathomable.
Envious. He was just so close to clutching it out for his team, keeping his team alive in this matchup. But it was a difficult one indeed. But still, MercenarieZ is a really good show of performance. LRX too. They were really on the aggressive and playing somewhat tactically too. I have to say, impressive performance from both sides. But indeed, I think the main mistake from LRX was on the defensive side, didn't have that good utility usage that I predicted from them. I mean, having a Cypher is such a big asset to your team, but Experiment, I think he should play more on that aggressive side. I know there are map-wise selection of agents. Different players play different agents on different maps and different scenarios. So, but still, Experiment, he didn't really make the most of that Cypher, I have to say. And along also, I have to say Kyojin, he didn't really frag up to expectations. But regardless, it was a good match indeed. But we still have one more to go. The decider map being the infamous map of Icebox, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to see MercenarieZ attack on the first half. So hopefully we're going to find out who's going to win this intense upper bracket finals in this next map. But ladies and gentlemen, be patient with us because we're going to take a short break going into the next map. Stay with us, share the live stream, follow the page, do all that stuff. We'll be back in a short bit.
Every young gamer wants to become an esports professional. We make it happen. You just keep on winning.
স্বাগতম বাংলাদেশের জন্য ESPL Valorant PowerUp সিরিজ ফরম্যাটে আপনাকে জানাই স্বাগতম। এই সিরিজটি রায়োট গেমস দক্ষিণ এশিয়া সমর্থিত একটি উদ্যোগ যা বাংলাদেশের ভেতরে অপেশাদার গেমারদের প্রতিভা বজায় রাখতে এবং বৃদ্ধি করতে সহায়তা করবে। এর সুবিধার্থে পাওয়ার আপ সিরিজটিতে প্রতি মাসে 2টি প্রাইজ পুল সহ 2টি টুর্নামেন্ট থাকবে। প্রতিটি মাস শুরু হবে একটি বাছাই পর্বের সাথে, যেখানে সবগুলি দল সিঙ্গল এলিমিনেশন ফরম্যাটে প্রতিযোগিতা করবে শীর্ষ 8টি দল পর্যন্ত এবং এই 8টি দল অ্যামেচার কাপে উত্তীর্ণ হবে। এই 8টি দল ডাবল এলিমিনেশনে লড়াই করবে এবং বিজয়ী শীর্ষস্থানীয় 3টি দল আমন্ত্রিত হবে ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে। ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে প্রতিযোগিতা করবে শীর্ষস্থানীয় 3টি দল এবং আমন্ত্রিত 3টি দল। ইনভিটেশনাল কাপের সময় অপেশাদার কাপ এবং ইনভিটেশনাল কাপের শীর্ষ 2টি দল উচ্চ ব্র্যাকেটে খেলবে এবং তৃতীয় স্থানের দলগুলি একই পর্বের নিম্ন ব্র্যাকেটে খেলবে। প্রথম রাউন্ডের প্রতিটি ম্যাচ হবে সিঙ্গল এলিমিনেশন ফরম্যাটে। উচ্চ ব্র্যাকেটের 2টি বিজয়ী দল তারপর ডাবল এলিমিনেশন পর্যায়ে এগিয়ে যাবে। ডাবল এলিমিনেশন পর্বে হেরে যাওয়া দলটি তখন নিম্ন ব্র্যাকেটের দলের বিপক্ষে প্রতিদ্বন্দ্বিতা করবে। এই পর্যায়ে নিম্ন ব্র্যাকেটের যে দলটি হারবে তাদেরকে তৃতীয় স্থান হিসেবে শিরোনাম দেওয়া। ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে অংশ নেওয়া সমস্ত 6টি দল পরের মাসের অপেশাদার কাপে আবার প্রতিযোগিতা করে বেরিয়ে আসতে হবে, যার উদ্দেশ্য নতুন এবং উন্নত দলগুলিকে অপেশাদার কাপে প্রতিযোগিতার সুযোগ দেওয়া। এর দ্বারা ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে আরও অভিজ্ঞ দলের সাথে তাদের দক্ষতা পরীক্ষার চক্রটি পুনরাবৃত্তি করা হচ্ছে। আমরা অর্থাৎ ESPL কিভাবে বাংলাদেশের দলগুলি পাওয়ার আপ সিরিজে পারফর্ম করে তা দেখার অপেক্ষায় রয়েছি। আপনার স্কোয়াড প্রস্তুত করুন এবং সিরিজটি শুরু হওয়ার জন্য প্রস্তুত থাকুন। গুড লাক এজেন্টস।
Every young gamer wants to become an esports professional. We make it happen. You just keep on winning.
স্বাগতম বাংলাদেশের জন্য ESPL Valorant PowerUp সিরিজ ফরম্যাটে আপনাকে জানাই স্বাগতম। এই সিরিজটি রায়োট গেমস দক্ষিণ এশিয়া সমর্থিত একটি উদ্যোগ যা বাংলাদেশের ভেতরে অপেশাদার গেমারদের প্রতিভা বজায় রাখতে এবং বৃদ্ধি করতে সহায়তা করবে। এর সুবিধার্থে পাওয়ার আপ সিরিজটিতে প্রতি মাসে 2টি প্রাইজ পুল সহ 2টি টুর্নামেন্ট থাকবে। প্রতিটি মাস শুরু হবে একটি বাছাই পর্বের সাথে, যেখানে সবগুলি দল সিঙ্গল এলিমিনেশন ফরম্যাটে প্রতিযোগিতা করবে শীর্ষ 8টি দল পর্যন্ত এবং এই 8টি দল অ্যামেচার কাপে উত্তীর্ণ হবে। এই 8টি দল ডাবল এলিমিনেশনে লড়াই করবে এবং বিজয়ী শীর্ষস্থানীয় 3টি দল আমন্ত্রিত হবে ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে। ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে প্রতিযোগিতা করবে শীর্ষস্থানীয় 3টি দল এবং আমন্ত্রিত 3টি দল। ইনভিটেশনাল কাপের সময় অপেশাদার কাপ এবং ইনভিটেশনাল কাপের শীর্ষ 2টি দল উচ্চ ব্র্যাকেটে খেলবে এবং তৃতীয় স্থানের দলগুলি একই পর্বের নিম্ন ব্র্যাকেটে খেলবে। প্রথম রাউন্ডের প্রতিটি ম্যাচ হবে সিঙ্গল এলিমিনেশন ফরম্যাটে। উচ্চ ব্র্যাকেটের দুটি বিজয়ী দল তারপর ডাবল এলিমিনেশন পর্যায়ে এগিয়ে যাবে। ডাবল এলিমিনেশন পর্বে হেরে যাওয়া দলটি তখন নিম্ন ব্র্যাকেটের দলের বিপক্ষে প্রতিদ্বন্দ্বিতা করবে। এই পর্যায়ে নিম্ন ব্র্যাকেটের যে দলটি হারবে তাদেরকে তৃতীয় স্থান হিসেবে শিরোনাম দেওয়া। ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে অংশ নেওয়া সমস্ত 6টি দল পরের মাসের অপেশাদার কাপে আবার প্রতিযোগিতা করে বেরিয়ে আসতে হবে, যার উদ্দেশ্য নতুন এবং উন্নত দলগুলিকে অপেশাদার কাপে প্রতিযোগিতার সুযোগ দেওয়া। এর দ্বারা ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে আরও অভিজ্ঞ দলের সাথে তাদের দক্ষতা পরীক্ষার চক্রটি পুনরাবৃত্তি করা হচ্ছে। আমরা অর্থাৎ ESPL কিভাবে বাংলাদেশের দলগুলি পাওয়ার আপ সিরিজে পারফর্ম করে তা দেখার অপেক্ষায় রয়েছি। আপনার স্কোয়াড প্রস্তুত করুন এবং সিরিজটি শুরু হওয়ার জন্য প্রস্তুত থাকুন। গুড লাক এজেন্টস।
Every young gamer wants to become an esports professional. We make it happen. You just keep on winning.
স্বাগতম। বাংলাদেশের জন্য ESPL Valorant PowerUp সিরিজ ফরম্যাটে আপনাকে জানাই স্বাগতম। এই সিরিজটি রায়ট গেমস দক্ষিণ এশিয়া সমর্থিত একটি উদ্যোগ, যা বাংলাদেশের ভেতরে অপেশাদার গেমারদের প্রতিভা বজায় রাখতে এবং বৃদ্ধি করতে সহায়তা করবে। এর সুবিধার্থে পাওয়ার আপ সিরিজটিতে প্রতি মাসে 2টি প্রাইজ পুল সহ 2টি টুর্নামেন্ট থাকবে। প্রতিটি মাস শুরু হবে একটি বাছাই পর্বের সাথে, যেখানে সবগুলি দল সিঙ্গল এলিমিনেশন ফরম্যাটে প্রতিযোগিতা করবে শীর্ষ 8টি দল পর্যন্ত, এবং এই 8টি দল অ্যামেচার কাপে উত্তীর্ণ হবে। এই 8টি দল ডাবল এলিমিনেশনে লড়াই করবে এবং বিজয়ী শীর্ষস্থানীয় 3টি দল আমন্ত্রিত হবে ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে। ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে প্রতিযোগিতা করবে শীর্ষস্থানীয় 3টি দল এবং আমন্ত্রিত 3টি দল। ইনভিটেশনাল কাপের সময় অপেশাদার কাপ এবং ইনভিটেশনাল কাপের শীর্ষ 2টি দল উচ্চ ব্র্যাকেটে খেলবে এবং তৃতীয় স্থানের দলগুলি একই পর্বের নিম্ন ব্র্যাকেটে খেলবে। প্রথম রাউন্ডের প্রতিটি ম্যাচ হবে সিঙ্গল এলিমিনেশন ফরম্যাটে। উচ্চ ব্র্যাকেটের দুটি বিজয়ী দল তারপর ডাবল এলিমিনেশন পর্যায়ে এগিয়ে যাবে। ডাবল এলিমিনেশন পর্বে হেরে যাওয়া দলটি তখন নিম্ন ব্র্যাকেটের দলের বিপক্ষে প্রতিদ্বন্দ্বিতা করবে। এই পর্যায়ে নিম্ন ব্র্যাকেটের যে দলটি হারবে তাদেরকে তৃতীয় স্থান হিসেবে শিরোনাম দেওয়া। ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে অংশ নেওয়া সমস্ত 6টি দল পরের মাসের অপেশাদার কাপে আবার প্রতিযোগিতা করে বেরিয়ে আসতে হবে, যার উদ্দেশ্য নতুন এবং উন্নত দলগুলিকে অপেশাদার কাপে প্রতিযোগিতার সুযোগ দেওয়া। এর দ্বারা ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে আরও অভিজ্ঞ দলের সাথে তাদের দক্ষতা পরীক্ষার চক্রটি পুনরাবৃত্তি করা হচ্ছে। আমরা অর্থাৎ ESPL কিভাবে বাংলাদেশের দলগুলি পাওয়ার আপ সিরিজে পারফর্ম করে তা দেখার অপেক্ষায় রয়েছি। আপনার স্কোয়াড প্রস্তুত করুন এবং সিরিজটি শুরু হওয়ার জন্য প্রস্তুত থাকুন। গুড লাক এজেন্টস।
Every young gamer wants to become an esports professional. We make it happen. You just keep on winning.
স্বাগতম। বাংলাদেশের জন্য ESPL Valorant PowerUp সিরিজ ফরম্যাটে আপনাকে জানাই স্বাগতম। এই সিরিজটি রায়ট গেমস দক্ষিণ এশিয়া সমর্থিত একটি উদ্যোগ, যা বাংলাদেশের ভেতরে অপেশাদার গেমারদের প্রতিভা বজায় রাখতে এবং বৃদ্ধি করতে সহায়তা করবে। এর সুবিধার্থে পাওয়ার আপ সিরিজটিতে প্রতি মাসে 2টি প্রাইজ পুল সহ 2টি টুর্নামেন্ট থাকবে। প্রতিটি মাস শুরু হবে একটি বাছাই পর্বের সাথে, যেখানে সবগুলি দল সিঙ্গল এলিমিনেশন ফরম্যাটে প্রতিযোগিতা করবে শীর্ষ 8টি দল পর্যন্ত, এবং এই 8টি দল অ্যামেচার কাপে উত্তীর্ণ হবে। এই 8টি দল ডাবল এলিমিনেশনে লড়াই করবে এবং বিজয়ী শীর্ষস্থানীয় 3টি দল আমন্ত্রিত হবে ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে। ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে প্রতিযোগিতা করবে শীর্ষস্থানীয় 3টি দল এবং আমন্ত্রিত 3টি দল। ইনভিটেশনাল কাপের সময় অপেশাদার কাপ এবং ইনভিটেশনাল কাপের শীর্ষ দুটি দল উচ্চ ব্র্যাকেটে খেলবে এবং তৃতীয় স্থানের দলগুলি একই পর্বের নিম্ন ব্র্যাকেটে খেলবে। প্রথম রাউন্ডের প্রতিটি ম্যাচ হবে সিঙ্গল এলিমিনেশন ফরম্যাটে। উচ্চ ব্র্যাকেটের দুটি বিজয়ী দল তারপর ডাবল এলিমিনেশন পর্যায়ে এগিয়ে যাবে। ডাবল এলিমিনেশন পর্বে হেরে যাওয়া দলটি তখন নিম্ন ব্র্যাকেটের দলের বিপক্ষে প্রতিদ্বন্দ্বিতা করবে। এই পর্যায়ে নিম্ন ব্র্যাকেটের যে দলটি হারবে তাদেরকে তৃতীয় স্থান হিসেবে শিরোনাম দেওয়া। ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে অংশ নেওয়া সমস্ত 6টি দল পরের মাসের অপেশাদার কাপে আবার প্রতিযোগিতা করে বেরিয়ে আসতে হবে, যার উদ্দেশ্য নতুন এবং উন্নত দলগুলিকে অপেশাদার কাপে প্রতিযোগিতার সুযোগ দেওয়া। এর দ্বারা ইনভিটেশনাল কাপে আরও অভিজ্ঞ দলের সাথে তাদের দক্ষতা পরীক্ষার চক্রটি পুনরাবৃত্তি করা হচ্ছে। আমরা অর্থাৎ ESPL কিভাবে বাংলাদেশের দলগুলি পাওয়ার আপ সিরিজে পারফর্ম করে তা দেখার অপেক্ষায় রয়েছি। আপনার স্কোয়াড প্রস্তুত করুন এবং সিরিজটি শুরু হওয়ার জন্য প্রস্তুত থাকুন। গুড লাক এজেন্টস।
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the ESPL Valorant PowerUp Series 5 Amateur Cup. We are back in this showdown between these two teams, MercenarieZ and LarioX Esports. And it's been a long night, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies if I sound tired, because I am tired. It's been a hell of a matchup between these two. And even just casting it has taken out so much energy from me. But we're still going to go into the third and final map, the decider map between these two teams, to decide who's going to take it all home. And it is the infamous map of Icebox. So, considering this is Icebox, I expect there to be quite some different plays. But before I go any further, by the way, I'm Kirito along with my co-caster Kalashnikov. We're gonna guide you through this final map. Hopefully, you're all ready and roaring to go on, considering that this is Icebox, as I was saying, that we expect some vertical and mobile agents who sort of like, I mean, for example, what, like Raze, Jet, Omen, these guys who kind of go into these off angles, vertical plays, as I like to call them. These agents really dominate in this map, considering that there are so many up and down vertical spots to look at. So I expect both sides to play at least a Raze or a Jet coming in. I'm not sure though. I mean, even they can play.
I'm
maybe
astonished I'm not seeing any kind of Viper pick here.
Yeah, also a good point there. I mean, considering in the other regions like NA and U, I have seen a Viper be a complete must, especially after the update. The Viper is a must in this map. As I mean, most teams select Viper. So what do you think about a Viper pick coming down? I mean, we aren't seeing it in this.
Well, Viper, after the last buff, Kirito, I think Viper is really viable right now. Like, most any other operator except Yuru is very much viable. Because in this map, Viper's utility, Viper's ultimate can be really devastating, okay? And can cover a lot of real estate, covering off enemy, enemy view, and making cross angles becoming really hard. Because we see here, in this map, flanks and cross angles are really easy to take cover. So, that being said, I think Viper pick could have been nice, but we are seeing the very normal, very decent, very plain classic pick coming off of both of the teams. We're seeing Reyna, Jet, Sova, Omen, and Sage. Wait, Reyna, Jet, Sova, Omen, and Sage.
Yes,
And
Sage.
okay, is it the same pick?
Identical.
Yes, it's identical picks.
So basically, these teams are gonna stare down the mirror, face their evil twins on their side. So kind of interesting matchup we have here. But I guess the only agents that can really play vertically are the Omens and the Jets. Other than that, I mean, even Sage can play a little bit vertically if they're creative enough. Considering that Kyojin Fields are playing Sage, I expect them to use the wall, sort of boost up players, boost themselves up. It's gonna be an interesting match, and considering this is the upper bracket finals, the decider map, both teams are gonna give it their all. So I expect there to be much action.
Well, action it is, Kirito. Action it is, because Icebox, it's
Right here.
we don't see Icebox being the pick so much these days, and Icebox being the pick for both of the teams, it's gonna be something different to watch. Because I don't think any of the team is basically creating that amount of big strats coming up. Oh, Envious with a really good off angle over there. Really nice to watch. Anyway, we're seeing a full off pushes coming off on the side of A. We're seeing angle push-ups. We're seeing entries coming off. Attackers getting inside and trying to make some angle off the board. And still no deaths yet. But can we see a frag? On the face, we see some frags. Yes, Envious. Oh, sad for Envious. Bullets didn't work out. Bullets didn't work out. So it's 3v4 situation. Defenders LRX is gonna make something happen on the board. Are we seeing gonna do some damage? No, Field's gonna take some one frag. Kyojin. Oh! Frags coming up since Kyojin, really good. We're seeing 2v2 situation. We're seeing a fake coming off. Good wall, but no effect of the board. No time. No. Oh! We are seeing jump shot on Classic. Classic. What is this? Classic is Classic so OP still after the nerf?
I mean, Classic and Ghost both have their own strong points. It really comes down to what your preferability is. Like, Classic is good at long range too. It does do less damage, but if you're accurate enough, I think you can use the Classic, considering that it is also good at short range with that right click. Ghost, on the other hand, you really need to have that head aim, even at long and short ranges. So your opponent has more time to take you out if you try and go for the head with the Classic. So Ghost on the other side is more viable. But right now, considering the first round going in favor of MercenarieZ, we're going to see an eco come out of LRX. But oh, Kyojin right clicks Japanese Thor, but lethal. He's going to get the trade and one more. Linking on Hermione, leaving the B side completely open. The rotations are coming in from the side, but Lunatic on the flank. Oh, this could be huge. Nuke is in the drone. He has no idea. He gets a frag, but immediately lethal the game. Since his fire senses were tingling, he knew that there could be someone flanked. And he takes him down. Envious gets one frag, but Fields with the Spectre, automatic weapons against pistols, it's not gonna really work in your favor. So two quick rounds coming in favor of MercenarieZ, and we're immediately seeing, even in those short rounds, some tactical merits coming from the side of MercenarieZ. And it's gonna really be interesting in the gun rounds. We see still some bonus weapons in the hands of MercenarieZ players, but essentially this is the first gun round. Both sides have rifles in their hands, full utility, so it's gonna be a really big showdown, especially in the A side where all 5 of the players of MercenarieZ are looking to push.
Absolutely. And that being said, I don't know what's gonna be off next, because right now it's really hard to say yet. And push is coming off, angles getting swapped, and still we're seeing crossfire coming out. And nice one there, one frag off the board, still no effect on target. We're still hoping that effect might be coming off. Still waiting. Drone being deployed, and we're still seeing pushes coming off. One goes off the board, and next the other. Still waiting. Waiting, but okay, that's coming off.
That looks
and
so
still,
funny.
still on the loose. Okay, so less time left. We aren't seeing anything yet, and still we're seeing some amount of aggression right there. Fields! Oh my god, Fields, you just lost that! Run and gun didn't work out after all.
I mean, Run and Gun is pretty good at the Spectre, but I don't know, man. The RNG wasn't in his favor. So the first round going in favor of LRX. And I have to say, it was a good crossfire. I think the players were Experiment, Hermione, and Lunatic. I'm not sure who that was, but in this A side, there were 3 players holding a crossfire. They got 4 kills there, and that was huge. In the end, only one of them lost their life. So crossfires like that in such constricted places like the A side is the way to go in defense. And right now, Envious holding a really good angle. This could be really useful, but he does get detected from the Sova Dart, and he has to fall back as the rush coming in from MercenarieZ, not stopping at all. But Experiment, he's gonna say something about that. Murgian with the answer of his own, taking out Experiment with the trade. Envious with the ultimate gets one, gets a second, trying to run away, but Fields. Man, this Sage, he's a battle Sage. He's not giving them any room. Fragging despite being a supportive operator. But still, the bomb plan yet to go down. He is surrounded from all sides. He's trying to take care of Lunatic, but Lunatic survives by the hair of his... and before he even get to finish, Lunatic getting a second frag. I mean, I thought he was low HP, but doesn't matter. He's gonna finish things up, and LRX quickly tying things up. and immediately going for the buy. Experiment gonna go for an operator in this next round. Not sure if that's gonna be the best call. It is gonna be quite a gamble though, but still, let's see what mercenaries are opting to do in this next round.
Well, mercenaries on that. So I mean, this map is really hard to say yet because they're not. Any one of them is not giving up. But I'm not seeing, that hard usage, big usage of utilities yet. I'm just
What is
seeing,
that requirement?
I don't know.
You will
I'm
not
only seeing
And
basically.
that worked in his favor. Jeffrey still gets a kill onto Envious. That's thanks to the recon.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, how?
blocking sight.
Was that something different? And was that something just off the board? I don't know what's gonna happen next. It was really hard to watch. And yet, things coming off the board. And right now, it's really less time left. Entries coming off, angles coming off. Mercenaries takes like one frag. Mercenaries finishes off LRX just like that. Just on 1-, but that's off the loose and makes a big difference right now.
Yeah, mercenaries. I mean, the side take itself was great. The utility usage is slowly coming into play for mercenaries, especially recons and those what do you call it? Those sage slows really help them while pushing the side, not allowing players like NBS and Lunatic to move, who are playing in the A side. But in the end, I have to say, the post fans are where LRX really struggle. They aren't able to take back those sides. The mercenaries are so well set up for those post fans with the utility that they have. I mean, LRX have no answer for that, at least yet. So we're gonna see a split push coming out from mercenaries. They are faking towards B unit, essentially, and the fake is actually being pretty successfully sold as they're able to pull 3 players towards the side of B, having 3 of their own trying to go towards A. They do lose Murgaman though. So that is a price they have to pay. But oh, Envious with the Reyna, he's gonna dismiss away as he gets aggressed. But the smoke coming in right time. Japanese Thor holding the right angle. He's gonna dismiss away. He does have players to do. Oh, he turns around and takes care of Envious. Reyna diff, if I might say, a paranoia. That's he's gonna paranoia his own teammate, but never mind. They still have this site to plant the bomb in. It's 2v3, but Japanese Thor aggressively taking nest, but there's not much he can do. Experiment with a frag. Lethal with 2. It's a 1v1, but the smoke, his own smoke sort of worked against him, and Hyojin, he's gonna get that frag. Bringing back Hermione too to recover the economy and pick up weapons. So that's a very successful round from LRX. 3-3 the score is going to be. And showing some signs of life. Hopefully they can keep this momentum, LRX, and win the whole thing.
LRX is gonna do that. LRX and Mercedes, none of them is gonna give up that soon. None of them is gonna, fall back to the position where they really wanted to be. Because right now, this map is gonna decide a lot of things. A lot of legacy is gonna be pulled off. Because if this time around, if the teams doesn't make up to that, it's gonna be a long walk for both of the teams off the board. And as we speak, mercenaries really pulling it off, really putting it together. They're just going together every day. They're going, and Mugiman with the exceptionally really good fragging capabilities, still making one frag, one tap Kyojin to the ultimate, but Experiment gets a frag on Mugiman. Sadly, can Mugiman gets another? Yes, he does. 12 HP, really less, and he's being chased. And Experiment gets a 3rd frag. What is this Experiment? That was
One
nasty.
enemy remaining.
And can he get one more? No, he doesn't. Lunatics gets one, and it's really less time left. It's only up to Nuke, and Nuke takes one frag, but he doesn't take another, and Lunatic finishes off on Nuke. That's that. One more round in case of LRX on defender side, and still LRX is on the lead.
Yeah, LRX having. I mean, that's what I said. That's what we saw in the first map. Just the moment they have some momentum to play with, they will exploit that momentum, and they will, go on with such like violence and aggression, even in defensive halves, that it's really hard to counter them. So I mean, mercenaries, I think they should play a little bit more passive, or they can also play fire with fire, have the same aggression LRX have. And right now they're trying to push towards mid. They see that there is no option to go into the tube because it is walled up. It's quite a basic strategy. I mean, they are ecoing, so aggression is probably the best way to go. Oh, Hermione gets taken away. What? Javelin over the frag. Envy has a split push towards A. They're pulling it off. What? Lunatic and Kyoshin get frags of their own, but how have LRX lost this? This is an eco win, or not yet? Experiment does get a frag onto lethal, so it's a 1v2, but both players are low. We do see a revive available for Fields and a heal too in a few seconds. So there's still the opportunity for Experiment to clutch this out, because both players are low. But this is essentially a game of ring around the rosy. As he peeks around, he's gonna spot both of these players unless they see him first. He is in the superior position, but he's going the wrong way. Oh, and he makes some noise and his position has been given away. He's going to dash into the side, but right in front of him is Fields. The timing could not have been any more against him in that round. And it was a very much winnable round too. And I gotta say, it was I think it was a thrifty round coming out of MercenarieZ. Rushing into mid with the eco weapons. Not what most teams would do, but MercenarieZ, they make it work.
Absolutely, they do. Because every time I see them, performing that, it's, something different coming off every time. Because I expect, both of the teams to perform the same. Because from the last two matches I've seen, none of them teams are, you want to give up that easily. But we're seeing Thrifties coming off the board. We're seeing Murgi Man doing really good movements out there, getting the prefab of the board. Nice shot from Murgi Man, getting off his able sister, Hermione getting one frag off the board, and we are seeing good reflex coming out. MercenarieZ goes up and revives Murgi Man off the board, and we're seeing pushes coming off. Everyone's hiding. Oh, sadly doesn't. Murgi Man finishes off. It's all up to Lunatic, but he couldn't finish it off. Lunatic is taking out MercenarieZ. MercenarieZ is now in the lead. MercenarieZ takes it back home, 5-4, and really hard to say what's gonna happen next. Really good split coming off on the map of Icebox, guys. Icebox is blasting with deaths of bloodbaths.
A lot of dependency on Envious to get those frags, but if he pushes into this into the post-plan scenario without support from his teammates, at least the ability to get a trade. I mean, like he did last round in the post-plan, he just walked into the open. He had a blind, but that didn't really help him much when the blind was over, as the players of MercenarieZ stayed in cover. So he needs to have some support, but considering this is an eco, this probably is gonna go in favor of LRX. But oh, Lunatic aggressively pushing, working with Hermione's ultimate. He does get a frag, but trades are there. There is still an ultimate available from Lethal to keep it to the side, but not anymore. Execution with the Sheriff gets a frag onto him. Could this be a 50 round for LRX? There is also a revive available for Kyoshin, who would love to use that right now, but the rotation coming in from the side of MercenarieZ as they're trying to go towards the B side, and the timing, that could be very much in their favor, as Kyoshin, he's going towards A. And nothing is stopping. He's still going towards A. The B is completely open right now. I think he might go. I think he's going there for a resolution, but he's gonna leave the side completely open. His team doesn't. Also, his team doesn't have any of the rifles that MercenarieZ dropped, so I think they're gonna try and go get that. But time is not in their favor, as the bomb plant has been done at the side of B. And two players from MercenarieZ, Fields and Nuke, holding in with their rifles. But oh, Kyoshin from behind, Experiment gets the strikes him off. He does get the trade onto Hermione though. But Experiment gets the final frag on Duke, and it's a thrifty coming in for LRX. They win that round with Sheriffs and Frenzies, and they're also going to be able to pick up the rifles for the players of MercenarieZ. So that's a really successful round coming out of them. 5-5 the score. They're going to tie things up and have some momentum going into the next round to potentially take the lead. I have to say, I really like how Murgi Man really plays without any cover. He just really walks into the sights. Whenever the barriers go down, he just jumps into an angle and just holds that. And when he doesn't find, he holds there like 1 or 2 seconds, and when he doesn't find that, he just keeps on aggressing. So it's nice. I mean, MercenarieZ is more of a passive team, but you do need to have some aggression in that passiveness, and I think it is Murgi Man who plays that role. They're now pulling up the jet ult. He's gonna dash away, spots the upper, almost gets a frag onto him, but he's getting spammed through the smoke. He's still going. Nothing is stopping him. He's 6p. He's still alive, but Hermione finishes him off. The round is still in favor of LRX. Hermione gets a second kill, but trade from Envious. Japanese Thor. He tends to get killed though, but Hermione, oh my god, on top, he's still going, a 4K, can he get the ace? But no, Fields shuts him down, it's still a 1v2. He has a resurrection, he really wants to go for that, he brings back Lethal. Still a very winnable round for Mercy, but Experiment shuts down Fields, and it's all onto Lethal. He does have the spike, but it's in a very precarious position. There's a wall there, there's nothing else that can go wrong. And Kyojin is gonna heal himself, but oh, Lethal is on the other side. He could be walking through the smoke. They're holding the wrong angle. And he's gonna, oh, Kyojin, the last second loops there, but that's not enough. Lethal gets a clutch, what? A triple kill, how did LarioX lose that, man? I have no clue.
In the half.
I mean, they had all in their favor. The revive coming in clutch for the revive really working in clutch for Fields, right? They're bringing back Lethal, and the fake smoke on the right side. Usually that indicates to the player if a smoke is on one side, the player is coming to the other side, right? But he played that beautifully. He played the smoke. He walked through that smoke and found both players in the open. Both players were low on HP, and that could have been an easier clutch for him. You see the next round going in for Mercenaries.
And MercenarieZ never tends to miss, and such does LRX. LRX going through that frag through the smoke. Will he get one more frag? No, he doesn't. Movement gets checked off, and just like that, will he does any? No, he doesn't. Sadly, he gets shaken off and couldn't finish the spray. Japanese Thor gets one frag off. NVS does on Wiggman. Japanese Thor and MercenarieZ Nukes gets one frag. It's all up to NVS now. Missing, no! He finishes off, nice one, and LRX wins the round 1-1. Oh my god, the split! They're not letting this win, they're not letting this go. We are seeing one hell of a bang, guys, bang, this we're seeing right now. And both of the teams, they're just not leaving each other, they're just not leaving the fight. They're just leaving it, they're not leaving it. And that being said, I'm just curious that is any of them gonna leave it be? I don't know.
I mean,
so what do you think?
Despite this being a really close match, I'm sorry, 6-6 the score, I really have to give it to MercenarieZ. I mean, they played, in my opinion, a better game. Their pushes were so aggressive. The utility usage along with that aggression was really admirable. And, you know, especially those mid pushes even in the eco rounds, that was so good coming out of them. And I gotta say, I mean, LRX, every single one of their players are self-sufficient fraggers. All of them can play duelists if they want. But the utility coordination wasn't really on play, and also the coordination with your teammates. I mean, going in such positions where trades can be taken by your teammates, I just didn't see that from them. So in this attacking half, I really hope that they play like that. And attacking being their sort of like natural habitat for LRX, I have to say they are in the advantage going into this next one. And 6-6 the score, it's still winnable for both sides, but even if it's a little bit, I still want to place my chips on LRX in this next half.
Yeah, about the half, what we're seeing right now is basically, I mean, tactical usage of abilities isn't so much, fathomable on both teams, because every time the match, every time they're going through the fights over here, I'm not seeing any kind of different kinds of strat. It's all the same. It's all the same kind of strat they're using every time. So what would be your view on both of the teams? Which team is going to win it in which type of, strats?
I mean, LRX being on attack, they should perform well. I mean, based on statistics from the past match, they are strong on attack, but MercenarieZ, they're really familiar with this map of Icebox. And despite not having, I think what would be best for Icebox, having a Sentinel, maybe a Cypher, or preferably a Killjoy, which is really well played by players like Fields. But still, I do expect them to put up quite a strong resistance. But I think it's about, it'll just be a matter of time before LRX figure out which way to propel their super aggressive pushes into the sites of A or B. Right now, we're seeing they're trying to go towards B. There is a dual player hole coming from Morgan and Lethal. And so far, they're going to have to fall back the Silver Drone from Hermione, clearing all the angles. One way coming in from Lethal, yet to do any work because they're going to push right through that, not being able to do much. Morgan inside the mid, trying to do work, trying to get a frag. As the wall goes down, he's going to be able to bomb plant plant the bomb, my bad, and
Healing.
fall back not without taking much damage. But on the other side, Mew and Murgyman, they have taken significant amounts of damage as players come in from all sides try and take this side. The wall has been broken as Murgyman tries to find an angle to push through, but a counter wall coming in. This could be really crucial for LRX if they aren't able to cross the wall, but they're trying to stick it as they push in, but Lethal, he's not allowing them. The trades are coming in, but oh! Hermione saves the day for his team. Envious gets the last frag though. Hermione with a triple this round. Sova being the duelist for LRX.
Well, that's that. Geometry teacher becomes the duelist. Yeah, that's that. And I mean, look at that aim, snaps coming off to the side of Sova. It's really nice to watch, and Hermoine was really good with that. And once again, we're seeing a Guardian buy on the side of Hermoine. Okay, so Hermoine is like,
I have to point out there, I've seen Hermione play. Hermione is really good with the Marshall and the Guardian, so I'm not surprised seeing that come out of him.
I think he has really, the belief of, killing enemy with one tap and believing in one's aim, one's ability to kill someone with one tap. I think he has that. That's why he's not kind of falling back. He's not even thinking about falling back.
Survives that. But I think, wait, is Hermione disconnected? Oh no, he's here. He's here.
Oh, he's there. Okay, what was that experiment? Hello? I mean, both of them were having a fight, but I don't think any one of them was successful on that. Anyways, it's 1v4 at LRX is basically making it happen. So that's the win for LRX once again. This match is looking really solid still now, and we're not seeing any kind of results just yet. Any kind of, direction or indication which team is gonna make up to it. But as much as my knowledge comes aboard, what I see is like both of the teams isn't gonna give up that easily. And speaking of the team of MercenarieZ, okay, MercenarieZ is basically a temporary setback for them, and I'm pretty sure after this full buy, my belief is MercenarieZ is gonna be back with their power, the energy they really have within them.
Yeah, a good side hold so far by MercenarieZ, providing some resistance, but they do lose a man. LRX also do lose one player, but their revive coming in, they're gonna be able to bring that back. But Japanese are playing really passive in this backside. He's not taking any fire just yet, but he's playing with CB. Hermione, the Guardian, coming to play, and he's gonna go above. Japanese is gonna miss away. He's gonna get a third kill this round. Nuke with one of his own. It's a 2v2. Japanese are gonna pop that Empress. If you're trying to get a frag, he's gonna spot Kyojin, but they're gonna have to fall back. Sorry, Lunatic, my bad. And Kyojin, they're trying to double pick, trying to take this round for them, and they're gonna have to fall back as both players of MercenarieZ are trying to take the side, trying to go for the defuse. It's Kyojin, he's trying to get the frag on Japanese though, but he doesn't, and he gets the last frag as well. I mean, LRX somehow clutched that round out. I expected MercenarieZ to win that because, as you said, temporary setback. MercenarieZ, I expected them to win the first buy round with those rifles in hand. And keep in mind, LRX still had some bonus weapons in the hand. Hermione still had a Guardian. I think Envious still had the Spectre. I'm not sure, but there were bonus weapons in play. So I'm surprised that MercenarieZ lost that. I mean, despite taking down 3 players, the win should have gone to them.
Well, we expect a lot of things, but the unexpected always happens, and that's what we see every time. And okay, we're seeing the usage of Marshall on the loose. That being said, but what was that? Oh my god! Just making progress, and Spike is down, and we might be seeing. Wait. Are we gonna see this? Okay. 2v3 quiet. Everything's quiet. Everything's sticked out. Everyone's hyped. We're seeing pushes coming on, and they're still coming back. And one ball to experiment gets a really good
Flank.
So we're seeing
standing.
Japanese.
Oh,
but couldn't finish off. Envious winning the round. Double digits. LRX
You know, I
not
would
wanting
prefer
that.
I would prefer Japanese style play that more passively, play with trigger discipline, instead of immediately going on the frag, take down experiment, maybe hold, maybe get vision of the rest of the players. But it was a close
Actually,
one.
you're right. Actually,
It was
you're
a
right.
close.
I agree. I agree on that point. They could have, been a bit more, patient about that. But,
But still,
anyways,
he got a couple of kills, yeah,
yeah.
and
So
the economic damage is there. So we're gonna go into another gun round. 10-6 the score in favor of LRX, and this could be really nice. But Morgan, wow, he's just jumping in with an operator. Aggressive play. He gets a frag and dashes away. I love this man. I keep telling you, Morgan, man, this aggressive push coming in from him, but he gets taken out though by experiment. The jet diff coming in. It's a 4v4 as all the players try to rotate towards the side. There are ults available for both sides, and experiment through the smoke, and he dashes away too. Doesn't like dash, he dodges away, and Japanese are spotted out through that Sobadun coming in, and LRX are opting for a rotation. But look at the nerves of Lethal. He's still holding in B. The game sense coming from this man is insane. And Hermione's trying to hold in from the flank, but he gets taken out by Japanese Tower. It's a 3v3, an ult available for experiment and for Lethal. I bet he would love to use that, but the players of Mercenary have taken up good defense positions in this side of B. But the bomb plan still goes on, but Lethal takes care of Lunatic, giving them advantage to Mercenaries, and he even gets some shots onto Kyojin. But the revive is available for Kyojin. He's gonna bring back Lunatic, and they can't do anything about it. And teleport coming in for the side of Lethal, but he has to cancel that. He's immediately spotted out by the players behind the container, and line coming in from Omen. He's gonna have to push through that in container. Kyojin, he's really in the open. Japanese is gonna take him out, but from behind, Lethal gets one frag and the second. He's gonna get a triple kill, and Mercenaries win that round after losing 4 in a row in this half. They clutch it out, 10-7 the score, and they're still in this. They're showing signs of life, so we can't count them out just yet.
And that being said, it is the thing that's making us count every time what's gonna happen next. But we're seeing that amount of aggression coming out from LRX hitting the double digits, making it harder for Mercenaries to come back. But 7-10 is not a bad split, Kirito, because this split might change. This split might make a difference soon. Because as Mercenaries did before, they did not give up. They still hold to their ground and still made it happen. So I think Mercenaries is pretty good at their defense, though LRX is really good at their offense. So hard to say what might be happening next. And we're seeing a full B push coming off, an entry coming off, smokes going off, and maybe there's gonna be a plant soon enough. And really less time left. We're seeing plants going off, and still we're seeing some Hunter's Fury coming off. Will be doing some damage? No, it doesn't so much after all. And time goes off. LRX went for the plan and waiting for everything to happen. Goes for the slorps. Sages still work, and we are seeing promising pushes on both of the teams. Still no effect on target. We are seeing a ninja coming off, but sadly nothing comes off. Experiment and Kyojin getting the field, but Mercenaries field gets 2 kills off the board. Missing Core on the push on the backside. Will it make any difference? Let's see. And no, it doesn't. LRX 11. Hope ball for LRX. LRX really dominant here. And some R&R coming out on the side of LRX really made it sweet spot for everyone.
Yeah, really. I mean, in the end, it all came down to the trades, and on top of the tower was Lunatic. He's the one who got the final kill. So, was it? I'm not sure, but I think LRX did have the first kill there. So, I guess in the trade lineup, it was in the advantage of LRX to take that. They have the advantage. They're going to be pushing Mercenaries into an eco, but don't count Mercenaries out just yet. They are still as strong as in an eco as Iron. Look at Murgyman getting a kill on NVS. That's a really big frag despite losing his life. Despite this being a 4v3 right now on Lunatic spots the player in the flank, but there are 2 more. There are 3 players, and based on the amount of fire he's taking, he sees that there are many players on the flank. So Duke's gonna get that frag onto Lunatic. A trade coming in from Hermione. Feels getting on to experiment, but it's all onto Japanese. So he's able to pick up a Phantom. He doesn't have armor, but he does have the Amp result, and that will really
Spike
be
planted.
necessary in this class scenario. In a 1v2, there is an ult available for Kyojin, but there are no players close at hand for him to take out. The Japanese throw slowly aggressing
enemy
spots. Oh, Hermione long range using the Empress, but Hyojin, the patience and match point for LRX. They can win this against Mercenaries and
Match
go to the
point.
grand finals of the ESPL Valorant Cup, ESPL Valorant PowerUp Series 5. And a lot on the line here for Mercenaries. This is a buyout for them. Rugyman going for the operator, and I mean, LRX are even going to go for a pause, make sure that they have all the proper mindsets ready in all the players. Everyone knows their role so that nothing goes wrong in this final and very crucial round for them. Mercenaries too, I hope, are going to take advantage of this to make sure that no mistakes are made, because this is for the grand finals. You don't want to mess this up. So hopefully, I mean, definitely a threat for Mercenaries, I have to say, is Murgiman, and I expect him. I mean, this being match point for LRX should play passive, but you know, usually I would
Here.
prefer him to stick with whatever playstyle he wants to, because he is a really good fragger, and he will at least get a 1 kill, hopefully, especially with the operator. It doesn't seem apparent from the scoreboard, but he has gotten really crucial kills in this matchup. But we are seeing LRX push towards B right now as a dash comes from an experiment. He tries to take down Lethal, but that doesn't work. Fields with one more, and a third from Lethal.
Down B.
NVS finally getting a frag in their name. The rotations are coming from
One
Mercenaries.
enemy remaining.
Lethal with only 5 HP gets a triple kill onto NVS, and it is all onto Lunatic with only how much HP does it have? He has about 46 HP. Gets a frag onto Lethal, but there are 2 players on the flank, and Japanese Thor gets him. 12-8 the score, and things didn't really quite work out the way of LRX, because they have enough money for buys? I don't think so. Yeah, they're gonna have to pull an eco, and Mercenaries are hot on their tails. They can very much tie this up. So, I mean, LRX aren't quite out of the woods just yet. They still need to maintain some composure in their gameplay and not just, you know, become really loose. So, hopefully they will be able to recover the economy and, you know, very possibly take the match. So let's see what happens.
Get out of my way.
And there we go, beginning this 21st round, I think, from in this grand finals matchup. Really crucial match coming up indeed for both these teams. And what a fight it's been! I have to say, I'm really impressed by the plays from both these teams. NVS is pushing towards Tube without any resistance in mind. I mean, and I know you're Reina and you have to play aggressive, but he's just going in there despite being detected by a drone, I think, very much. And the rotation coming from LRX towards the side of A. The Japanese are holding a really good angle. He will get spotted, but he's gonna have to fall back. Some fires are given. Remember, this is an eco for LRX. Even a bomb plant will be really valuable for them, and that they do. But Murgiam and the operator takes care of reaching the bomb plant is denied. Whoa, they line up. Lunatic and NP is taken out. Japanese throw with one of his own, and it's all onto Hermione with the Marshall. He needs to put some impressive plays indeed. He does get a headshot onto Japanese Thor. Murgiman missing by an inch. And he has lost some issue. Oh man, he's good with that Marshall. He's going to take care of Nuke as well. Saving a field there, but Murgiman has gained quite some ground. And I think Hermione is aware of that, putting out the class. He gets a frag. Can he clutch this? He is blinded though to 30 HP. It looks very unlikely. 2 players are surrounding him right now. We're seeing Lethal in a really good position from mid. He's gonna send a pre-fire there. I mean, this is good economic damage either ways. 12 seconds left on the clock. He's moving towards the side, and we see he being Lethal being detected by the recon there, but that doesn't really matter because Hermione being low on HP, Lethal just speaks with confidence and gets that frag. So 12-9 the score. I had to say it's a good trippy round coming out of LRX. So now they have all rifles in their hand, all Vandals. NVS not full armored though, so that's something to worry about. But still, this is the round for them to take this match. If they give away any more rounds, I mean, I have to say Mercenaries is looking really good for that match point. And they're going to be aggressing towards B, which I don't know if it's the right option because, I mean, I have to say, Fields and Lethal, they have a good hold on to this B main area, especially with Murgiman, with the operator on this side. Oh, the peak. I mean, Hermione does come with that drone and he's going to dash away. And oh, the updraft and all that you all the jet mobility coming to play to avoid that Hunter's Fury, potentially a really valuable frag. But Lunatic gets a frag onto Lethal as NVS wraps around, gets a frag onto Fields. How has he gone that far? And Lunatic with a TP 5 HP still manages to get a frag. This could very well be the round, ladies and gentlemen, where LRX take the win. It's all on Japanese power and Mugiman, the duelist for Mercenaries. They are surrounded from all sides though. And even an Empress pulled out by Envious. There's a revive available for Kyojin. So things are looking unlikely, but Mugiman to the corner gets taken by Envious. And it's all on Japanese power. He gets one frag. He gets a second one. Dismisses away. And a revive coming in for Envious. He's immediately going to speak 30 HP to the smoke. He's spamming away, but doesn't find anything. Even a shock that can kill him. But Hermione misses those shots. He's 30 HP. One shot and Experiment ends it, ladies and gentlemen. We have the winner of our match today after this insane matchup between these two teams. The winner of the upper bracket finals in the ESPL Valorant PowerUp Series 5 going to the grand finals is LRX Esports after an intense best of 3 battle. I have to say, what a match, and I couldn't but admire every single one of these players. They performed so well, and I have to say, I mean, both teams had their strengths. I mean, Mercenaries, the tactical plays, usage of utility. I kept saying that this whole match because it's true. They have good usage of utility. They have good coordination. So do LRX. Not much on the utility side, but the aggression is just, I mean, if they get a couple rounds, the momentum is so good. They can just out-aim you so easily. And especially in the attacking half, we see they took no chance on Mercenaries. But I have to applaud Mercenaries on their attack too. Those pushes through mid were really good. So both sides had their strengths, had their moments, but in the end, it was LRX who were able to take the cake. And I have to say props to all the players. It was a great match, and I had a great time. So hopefully you, ladies and gentlemen, you two all had an insane matchup too. So that's pretty much it for us today. It's been a long night. So we are going to be signing off for today. This was the only match we had for today, and tomorrow we're gonna have another match, I hope. So stay with us till then, follow the page for any kind of updates, and we will be back tomorrow with another matchup with a new batch of players who are ready to take on each other, and hopefully we're gonna have as much of an entertaining time as we had today. So till then, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna sign off. This is me, Curator, along with my co-host and co-caster Kalashnikov. We will be back tomorrow. See you again.